We also have the pleasure of DG PPP, Pastor James Olomsho. Thank you, sir. Also in-house, we have our directors. We have the director for input and other taxes. This is Shade Damola. Thank you for this. Also, we have the director for business assurance group, Pastor Felix Ali. Also representing finance and public services, we have the director, Mr. Tatai. Round the service. We also have Pastor Joseph Olamfemi, is the director of personal income tax. Round of service. Without taking any more of our time, we invite the second chairman, Mr. Happen, to give the opening address.
Good morning, distinguished. Good morning, distinguished head of church, Dr. Olomojobi. We really appreciate you, and we thank you for joining Mr. Governor in moving it forward. God bless you tremendously. My brother, pastor, friend, everyone, Pastor J.B. Polorusho, we cannot thank you enough for honoring our coming together today. Engineer Nantola, we also appreciate you. Thank you, Your Honor. My brother and professional colleague, Jordan Lawa, we also appreciate you. And of course, we also want to thank God for all our people that have served very well. Some may not even be due for retirement another 5 or 3 years, but it's just to prepare people for that time, which will happen to everybody. Because one of the beautiful things is that one doesn't die in service. You use your money to collect your intention. But if you are not prepared for it, it just comes suddenly. I still remember when I started working and I said, oh, the old one was ahead of me. But little by little, time counts. And of course, I also want those of us that are privileged to be here and those that are connected online, never to see this kind of training as maybe they want to push me out. That's not the intention. It's rather to prepare us for that time, which we surely come to pass. So I welcome you all, and I'll just ask the head of service to kickstart, because I understand there's going to be a school meeting, and we have to be time conscious so that we'll meet you in time. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, good morning, the celebrated chairman of the BIR. And I say celebrated, sir. Sure, those who don't know that I did not flatter. We're very proud of the passion, the commitment, the resilience you have put into the internal revenue sector of the state, and we're indeed very grateful. I want to celebrate my brother. In fact, you have the right person here. He's also a passionate leader and someone who speaks to effortless. I was going to ask you, I didn't have the time to ask the tax. To ask the target audience. So I'll know, and like I think I have an idea of my retirement date, and actually earlier. So who are those in the room we're speaking with? I like what you said about people who are 1 year, 1 day, 1 month, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years into retirement. Is that it?
Yes.
And how many of us are here? Wow. We're all so young and agile. Yeah, so this is the right target on it. Please sit down. Thank you. Okay, so mine will be just an interaction. First, I want to. Hello.
Okay, I want you to train you.
First, let me observe all the protocols and say to you that I attend this meeting with a very deep sense of responsibility and genuine interest for ourselves, our well-being. Now, this topic is of immense importance. I don't know how you got here, but like I told Chairman, as if it's really in my mind, because I think this is a kind of training that we should institute in the public service. Now, this message is to encourage you to proactive planning, ensuring that the next chapter of your life, which we call retirement, is deep with purpose, health, and happiness. I'll start from quality health. If you're going to enjoy retirement, it must be in health. And the time to do that is even from the time you start work, whether you're a 35-year-old tenured worker or an 80-year-old tenured worker. We must do our work in such a way that while we're working, we're healthy. When we leave the service, we're healthy. What I have seen, I also deal with pensioners, is that a lot of people that come back to me to ask for their retirement benefits, oftentimes when I look at them, it grieves my heart. Some people that I knew in service, very agile, very strong, and I tell a lot of them, when they call me, please don't come to my office, but if you climb downstairs, I don't know what will happen. I see a lot of my organs, frail, and a couple of them are even angry. I don't know if you know veteran PAMSEC Federal Ministry, Adegoroye. I'm sure the pastor will know him. I attended his lecture online a couple of weeks ago, and it was supposed to be a class on policy governance. They wanted to draw from their wealth of experience. It was an online class. As I listened to him, I could see that he had a bit of resentment. And I told myself, I don't want to go into that mode. So what I'm saying is, for all of us, the time to start preparing to live a happy working life, our retirement life, is now. How? First, we must ensure that we are physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually stable. For the physical, diet is very important. No matter what kind of work you do, ensure that you have plant-based diet. In fact, these days, it's not about class. I tell some of my friends that I haven't noticed that when we go for international conference, the big men, the really rich people, if you look at their plate, you see green, you see orange, you see yellow. You will not see beef there. You will not see them. I was at a conference sometime. It was an international one, so they gave us all kind of food. My brother, Igbo brothers from Nigeria, they mixed, I don't know whether it was potato, amala potato, with salad, with cake. And I told one of them, look at this World Bank, look at what there is. That was feeding us. So diet is as important as the air you breathe. You cannot be healthier than the food you eat. A lot of us feel it's tax thing to eat to our feel. No. Let us ensure, because the investment you make into your physical health today, you will need. A lot of things that we do at age 20 that do not have side effects. By the time it gets to 40, you begin to see the crack. By the time you get to 50, it's almost unrepairable. Let us ensure, I don't know what to get here. Breakfast is described as one of the best meals in the day. I do this as well. I'm guilty, but I'm trying to do it. We skip breakfast, we look for late lunch or late dinner, and then we gain belly fat around the lower part of the abdomen, which is highly responsible for a lot of hypertension, diabetes, and coronary heart disease. And we switch it. Even if you want to eat your pounded yam in the morning, do pounded yam that is like your fist. Do vegetable that is like a whole bowl. And by the time you start your day like that, you may not even need a late lunch. You may need food in the evening. It is difficult if you are not used to it. But the moment you start it, your body gets used to it. We master this body. The body does not master us. It's not true. When I started the water therapy, it was like, when I drink water, I will be like, I want to vomit. Now, if I don't drink water in the morning, I'm very thirsty. So please invest in your health. The work will continue, whether we are there or not. So we talk about diet, it is also important, and I like your office, whether you like it or not, you have to climb stairs and everything. It's important for us to invest in physical exercise. This is not only medically supported, it is spiritually supported. If you look at the scripture and study it very well, you know, when I tell my children that Daniel opted for not to eat the king's diet, and I asked them, what do you think the king's diet looked like? It looked like the buffet that we all attended. It was not safe, but because he understood what it is to be a master class, he understood what it was to live above other people. If you look at great sportsmen, they don't eat what other people eat. They don't drink just like that. You cannot find a celebrated sportsman who is an alcohol, who deals in alcohol or drugs, because he wants to master his body for a long race. And you know, one of my friends told me that the only thing you owe yourself, that only you can do by yourself, is take care of your body. This vehicle will carry you into 50, into 60, into 70, into 80, into 100. If you are not alive, if it's not healthy, there's nothing like healthy retirement. So I'm dwelling very much on having a healthy body, because a healthy body also produces a healthy mind. If you are going to enjoy retirement, you must also have a healthy mind. That means that your social relationships while at work is very important. Some of us retire from offices and we cannot enter that office. I don't think that in itself defeats you. I've had to work with a lot of women in health. And there was a study that brought to fore that women who live in bitterness, women will have a way of dealing with emotions. Your husband did this, your mother-in-law did this, your sister, brother did this, and you are hiding that resentment somewhere in your body. Do you know that a lot of them had a lot of cancer issues? I do not say that malice causes cancer. I'm just saying that if you have an ailment in your body, resentment, bitterness helps you to dig the grave faster. So have good social relationships. In actual fact, there was a study that showed that a group of people, I think in Loma Linda in the United States of America, lived longer and healthier than the control group. They found out that they were church people. At least they would go to church. And then they attributed it to their diet. So if you are a loner, everybody is a sinner except you. You cannot relate with another person in joy. You cannot celebrate another person's joy. The grave too is lonely. So human beings are made to interrelate. And we are made with our different diversities. This, your chairman, is a fantastic man. He can play trumpet. He can play piano. He can play everything. As much as I want to when I see him do it at the evening of praise, I marvel and it excites me. And I'm like, okay, if I can't do it, let me people who can do it, let me sponsor them. So can you celebrate other people's successes? And you truly have, do you know what joy is? Joy gives you life. And I thank you again, sir, for the work environment. I can feel, I'm trained to see that. You have a fantastic work environment. If you are not happy here, come, let me post to something. And then you come back to me. It can be better. But you have a template here where you can talk to one another, where you can appraise yourself, where you can appraise your boss, and your boss can appraise you. That is what life is all about. Those are skills that you take away from work to home, to the other things you want to do. What have we spoken about this morning? We must preserve our health. And we do that by managing our diet, our physical exercises, our social relationship. Relationship with one another, relationship with God. Whichever way, I'm an unapologetic Christian. But the people that I know, not that I read about them, one-on-one, that are professors of Harvard, professors of MIT, that do not have God, still come back to say there's an emptiness in their life. Man is made to relate to the supernatural. If that is empty in your life, you will die sad. I have not only had it, I have seen it. And one of my guys I had to go and see in Kuchu, last month. Fantastic professor of community medicine. Man has been calling me since that time. I just ready to share whatever. But he, in my own opinion, he's living a very lonely and not happy life. So some of us fight God all our life. That may not end up well. You know, when you still have activities in your life, you may think they are doing well. There's a time, there's a cycle of life. There's the morning, there's the afternoon, there's the evening. All that you do in the morning and the evening, you get the reward in morning and afternoon, you get the reward in the evening. I'll go a little bit into physical activity. Physical activity, if you have not taken up a sport at this age, even walking in nature is good enough. Don't walk with your eyes closed. Don't walk saying, oh, you want to teach shape at the walk and appreciate nature. Look around you. Take in your environment. It has a way of preparing you, of stabilizing your being so that you can be an appreciative person. And then I want to say that for us to prepare effectively, so somebody should be telling me how many more minutes, because I can talk on. We must have what we call self-awareness. What did I say? Self-awareness. Who am I? You know, especially those of us who are public servants, all our life we have been defined by institutions. We have been defined as what is around us. If you want to describe Pastor JB, what will come to your mind? First thing, apart from pastor.
Yes. No.
When people say HO is a visual call, so that you don't feel, you know, these things happen, especially people in power. If you know what goes on inside people before they retire, I don't know whether I have it, I don't know whether we have it, but I'm trying to prepare myself. You know, the day there was a dissolution, one of my friends spoke to me. And that's one of my best this book. I like people who can speak to the truth. There was the governor that was leaving this state, and then he shared with us that I even have fear inside it. Yeah. But I didn't know what I'm going to do tomorrow when I wake up. So who are you? Who are you without a title? Professor, Doctor, Mrs. I Chief Engineer, Pastor. Every morning when you wake up, stand naked before the mirror. One of my best quiet time is when I'm in the bathroom. I say, Almighty God, I'm appearing before you the way I came here. I'm not wearing it. All this one I will with my bare hair and who I need you to touch. Who are you? He is not what you are saying is not chairman. Yeah. Greater is he that is in him than he that is in the world. This voice you are hearing, my preaching, is coming from where I don't know. I've had the privilege of opening up a human body. What is here? If you press the dead person, can voice come out? There's a spirit man coming, speaking for. So you must know yourself, self-awareness. Who am I? If you understand who you are, you understand your purpose. You understand that I tell God, I don't know how I got here. So now you will know how to comfort. So you will not be living with some fears. And if you engage in that conversation consistently, the Lord has a way of showing you your strength and your weaknesses. The things around you, the people around you can help you to also identify yourself. And you know you are good at writing. I have one executive secretary who had a couple of days ago. And he wrote to me a memo from me. He doesn't consider a lecturer. He doesn't know it. He's a powerful writer. He's a teacher. Some people are teachers, some people are preachers. What are your skills and competencies? What are those things that rarely give you inner joy? I had Barack Obama on the clip yesterday, and he said that he rose from being a student in Harvard who had debt of student loan. He was in America. If you are an American and you have student loan, you understand what I'm saying. He said he moved from there to being I don't know, so his trajectory. At the end of it all, he said, what has given him the most joy has been his relationship with his family and making him what gives you joy. I'm not teaching, I'm not preaching, but you must know yourself. That prepares you for the longer journey. Do you know that the baby that you are is inside you as an adult? And it will be there in your old age. How many of us have lived with our aged father or mother? What did you notice? If they are the ones that brought you up, something they were doing in their 40s, did you see them doing it in their 80s and 90s? No. There's a baby that comes out when they are getting to that age. So every human being has a shell, but there's somebody in you that is vulnerable, that can be spoken to, that laughs at something, that cries at something. You know, but how do you discover these things? Is by doing and being in the right environment. What gives you joy? Can I ask? What one thing in life do you think you love most? You're one of the retirees or intern retirees, yes. Relationship with God. The pastor làwọn náà. Àwọn ọmọ ọjọ́ ẹ jẹ́ káwọn ọmọ ọjọ́ dáhùn. Èyí bí ọmọ ọjọ́ báyìí. Tell me.
When I'm giving up, that I need, I'm able to.
Okay. Mama. Just to help you. Don't like boxing. Okay, so let's start that journey of discovery. I recognized when I was much younger that, and I didn't get to think about this until adulthood. I just noticed that when I was in secondary school, if any senior wants to punish a junior student, I will fight. About 10, about 7 or 8 years ago, I was at one of my friends' birthday party for you. And then a beautiful lady walked up to me and said, it's a bad day, and you know her. And she said, there was a night when she just got to school, everything. So she was going from house to house, new student, and then she got to my house. And I said, you know what? I said, I said, I remember when I got, she told me this story. I can't remember. I said, it's a crime. That's what happens to my children. Like, go and tell her that I tell her back to you. The understanding was that we were in trouble. And you know, she told that story all over the world. So she posted it, and a lot of them started saying that was like, she will fight for this, she will fight for that. Then, when I was choosing career, I didn't know anything about anything, but some of me said, be a lawyer again. So when I start looking at my life now, if you've seen me fight hard, I'm fighting for somebody. And in some of my dealings, I see that I get aroused when I see injustice. I don't need to know the person. I hit it with passion. Just this morning, I was thinking about it. I don't want to misjudge it, but I saw something that angered me. Sometimes what angers you is your passion. Something that just why did this thing happen? So a lot of us don't get to find out in life, not because we don't have mentors, we don't have opportunities, but it's not too late. What saddens you, look for it. What gives you utmost joy, look for it. But there's something. There's something, you know, like some specialties. There's something that are generic. Every child of God must give, must love, must share. But where is that area? You know, God does not waste resources. And He's the God of diversity. I want to come out there, come out here, that advice, I'll be that right. What's better down? Okay, what? One share not passing. One share for you, follow by. We are eating no fear, we that say one survive. That's it doesn't. You know, so please look for it. So that the more you do it, you see that you find fulfillment and joy. What is it that you will do, whether they give you money or not? If somebody is working for money, you will not know passion. But what is that thing you will do, whether they give you money or not? The Lord will help us in Jesus' name.
Yeah.
So I would say that coming back to retirement, early and meticulous preparation for retirement is important. You don't retire by accident. Most of us want a public service. I mean, it is a date that we look for. When people run to me and say, my wife is pregnant and we need money for students. Pregnancy is not one day now. From even if it's 6 months, just for my reach, no matter how fantastic you are as a woman, by 5th month, you will know you are pregnant. Even if you don't know for 3 months. 3 months to prepare. So we have a lot of time to prepare. And it's never too late. Today can be the beginning of the intentional preparation. Right. I also want to encourage us that look at the PENCOM law. There's a lot of discussion going on now. I don't know if you are reading it because you are looking at retirement. Look at the pension law. You can contribute to the discourse now.
The pension is part also be taken off.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, fantastic. So that you will be an informed retiree. You will not just be attending pensioners meeting and saying government is not doing this. When you have not looked at the pieces of the law, there are choices you have to make. Thank you. I also want to listen to that because I'm an intentional retiree. Okay, so I've talked about self-awareness. I'll now go to skills and self-development. I think for me, one of the things that we have to do is lifelong learning. They say learning stops only at death. Don't be one who feels satiated. When did you start using the cell phone? Who's the oldest person in the room? You don't know our age. Okay, but I was not born. I did not touch cell phone until I was an adult. Yes? Who touched cell phone as a child in this room? Nobody. So we had to learn to use it. You know, my mom stays with me a couple of times. When she sees my children doing Snapchat, Instagram, I said, yeah, you are OG, just hold it. But you know that one day I just saw her on Startup. I'm like, yeah? How did you get there? So let's open ourselves to learning. It can actually be fun and it shows that we are given. You can even learn a skill. You don't have to learn it to Olympiad status. You can learn knitting, you can learn tennis, but don't break your bones. You can learn swimming. You can, these little things around us. Let's learn. There's a lot of resource on the internet now, positive resources that can keep our brain working. I read something yesterday night that American research says taking of brain health supplements is a big risk. There are a lot of vegetation around us that helps our brain development in Africa. And tí ó bá ń gbé Nàìjíríà kò ẹ̀ríkà sí ní àwa kò rate wa high tó tó yìí because we are not as industrialized. It's a blessing that we are here eating. When you eat your green leafy vegetables, you eat your salads, your natural fruit, it helps your development. And of course, you can learn a new language. You can pursue a lifelong desired hobby. You can learn musical instruments. You can also learn business. But don't use your creativity to start business. Whatever business they are not doing before now, I don't think it's time to do it. I mean, that you don't have skills for. It may be tough. I once started a fish farm. I thank God that it was not a loan. But when they gave me the feasibility, when I started doing it, I did not learn small. So when there was a lobster, the big loss, thank God I survived. Okay, so I also want to encourage us to look into the skills we have gathered. That's one thing public service should help us to while we're here. Government has a way of recycling public servants that they think are good, but you must have a self-discovery yourself. And one of the richest places in an institution, public or private institution, is the public service. If I had worked in the bank, I will know banking very well, but that's it. If you have worked in maybe oil and gas, you will know oil and gas very well, and that's it. When you have actually transferred the public service like you should, you will know a bit of so many things that makes you a rich resource. So I'm sure your chair will do that, kind of do an individual assessment, kind of appraisal you do, so that everybody is able to see them, say, oh, so I'm good at this, I'm good at that, and it can be things that you take on. I've talked about networking, building relationships. I'm talking now about networking, building relationships, sustaining your social fabric. Àwọn àkọ́ tó máa ń pẹ́ ní èèyàn kù, èèyàn máa enjoy retirement with your social fabric. You can have so much money and you are not connected to people rightly. Life goes bit by bit. Sorry to mention it, but Dr. Otekalu, I don't know how many of us know him, here in Adwekiti, was one of my great mentors, fantastic pastor, great surgeon. You know, but at the end of his life, the house is here in Jerry, very big house, and he was the only one in that house. Every time I go there, and I'm calling him from Oga, good morning, we go to be echoing. If you enter his house, he has a swimming pool, he has beautiful exotic flowers. That's where I got the flowers my husband. Who asked me, look at the flower. It was lovely. If you are how many of us love gardening, flowers? That's a beautiful thing to do when you have time. It's the way it lifts up your life. So his wife died a couple of years. The moment his wife died, I knew of that was on because they were soulmates. They had each other for company. So social network is important. Did you know that it was the doctor that he had trained, that he had mentored, that practically took him over in his last days? If he didn't have that, who would be there? Oh my investment too. Children will be investing. You know, this client, we say, do your responsibility. Children are a heritage. Aloni, I became a heritage. Belongs to God. You are on assignment to do some assignment in the life of that child, not be your own. So it's not your investment. Yes, no, social investment. When person is going to die, the child may not be there. We pray. But all these children in Australia, Canada, America. So wherever you are, who are you in your community? Even what you do on social media, there are people who send prayers to people every day. There's a way you must look out to invest in people's life. That in itself gives life. So engage in your lifelong friendship. Maybe your school or your church. Build friendships, real relationship. I greet JB again. When he traveled, my mind was with him, but it's not for me. Thank you, sir, for accusing me. That told me a lot. He's a relationship person. Because he won't do that. You can say, I'm very guilty. It's not good. We are human beings to relate with one another. Well, if not your bank account. Well, is more of your human and social capital. Those are currencies that you can't get in the stock market. Human beings are large currencies. Build relationship, build relationship, build relationship. That means I think I've spent.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
This is awesome. I don't know how to thank you for this beautiful starting. We really appreciate you, man. I think because of time, we just ask Pastor Koloncho to also go into his discussion. You know that he was the permanent secretary, Ministry of Finance, and eventually he retired, and then he joined us back, also as the Director General and Special Advisor of the Road Public. Thank you. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Well, let me quickly start by commending my chairman, very good brother, my pastor, for organizing this very wonderful training program for our brothers and sisters at about the time. And let me thank you because you have done all of us proud. But 2 weeks ago, I appeared on the television. And anywhere I go, I'm always very quick to say we had one of our points agenda that if we allow continuity to run, we are going to enter into the realm of the billions in the state. You make it happen, sir. Thank you very much. And my erudite HOS, I used to call her senior girl. And you know that she's senior indeed. Thank God for your beautiful life. I can trust you for what you always do. You have been a plus to this community civil service. No wonder God has elevated your head to be where you are. Thank you very much. And I want to salute all of us on this table. One thing I want to assure you is that they say repetition is good for emphasis. In this training workshop, so many things will be repeated because there is an interconnectivity in what we are saying. So don't take it as waste of time. Once I've five had, twice I've five spoken. Once I've five spoken, twice I've had. So, and then make your judgments. To speak on understanding retirement. And I think the HOS has dealt into that topic extensively. I'm not going to dwell much on those areas he has touched extensively. But I have 10 points here to just try to enlighten our understanding about what retirement is all about. So the first one I want to say is you must understand the meaning of retirement. The dictionary meaning says it is withdraw from one's position or occupation or from one's active working life to concentrate on what gives you joy, what gives you meaning, what adds purpose to your life. The HAS has spoken about that. But that is retirement for you. Retirement is a turning point. Retirement is not a starting point. Retirement is not a dead end. And it is not a stagnation point. Life is about operation, keep moving, no waiting, no stopping. That's it. Because life is counting. Time is counting. Is that not the truth? So you are doing a job, and by reason of probably your age or length of service, I was asking the chairman whether there is already a separate retirement policy in the agency, and he said no, that you still operate in the global civil service policy. So is that by attaining the age of 60 or by spending 35 years in service? So these are the things you must understand. And when you have that understanding, you know that as you are growing older, nature will be withdrawing strength from you. Nature has mentioned it. And that is the reason why government feels that at age 60, there is the need for government to make space for those younger ones who can still run the race without stopping. So you'll be given your own retirement benefit to go. It's not a death sentence. No. We should all know that it is an opportunity for us to disengage from this assignment and do something that will add purpose, will add meaning, that will give us joy. So we must have that at the back of our mind that it is not a starting point. If by the time you retire, now the HOS equally mentioned, you are thinking of starting a new business, you are just starting a new, and then you are using your retirement benefits, that could be very disastrous. So retirement is a turning point. It's a point for you, and it is good for you to have prepared yourself and let be a scale-up turning point. And I will be using myself as an example. I was privileged to attend this kind of a workshop when I was the DOP to the Deputy Governor, Chief Paul Alabi. And that workshop was organized, and it was to come and declare it open just like the HSK today. And since I was the director of protocol, I followed him. And he now stayed, being a retiree, in all state, and I benefited. You know that week I registered a company. That week I went to Code of Conduct Bureau. I will be teaching you some of those things. As at that time, I was still having about 23 years to retire. But that was when I started my retirement plan because of the training I had. So because I just felt that by the time I retire, I want to scale up. The turning point should be to do what? To scale up. And like Jesus said, what do I have passion for? I have passion for two things. I have passion for preaching the gospel. But my bishop wants me to be a full-time gospel minister. I said no. I have the anointing of matter to matter in the marketplace and to matter in the kingdom. If I do this work, I don't want to earn money from anybody. I want to, but I love being a high-profile professional. When I employ people, as I'm speaking to you now, they are harvesting my rice in the farm. And I'm talking to you now. They are delivering my blocks. This building that is behind the no. What do they call it? These are big building at Lawe Road.
Okay,
No, not Labor, the pavilion. There is a sports complex, indoor complex. Yeah, I supply my blood there. But I'm not there. For people like my blood university at my blood university at Afar Road, they are set it and we pay. Good. My complex at Calibration, direct your posting, Mobi Bank, Mobi filling station. You see that they are set we pay. But I have never been there. Because when I attended that workshop like this, as civil servants, I'm not allowed to do business. What can I do? I went to Code of Conduct Bureau because I have the understanding that retirement is a turning point. And my own, I want to scale up. I don't want to be stagnant. So as at that time, I went to Code of Conduct Bureau. I am a civil servant. I cannot do business. It was there they gave me training that I can register a company and then put somebody there as my director. I must not be signatory to the account. They told me all the don'ts and the do's, all the do's and the don'ts. And that month, I opened a company. My name was not there. You know what I'm saying? And there is a way it happened. And that was where, because my passion is to have people around me to sell and around. When I retired, my driver said he's going with me, that they want to go and spend 3 months. I said, no, I have 3 drivers. The one that is driving tipper, the one that is driving this, the one that is driving that, because my investment in the civil service had been geared towards my retirement. So immediately I retired, I have had a lot to do because I have learned that it is to scale up. It's a turning point. So you've got to understand what retirement is all about. Number 2, you must understand the role of building a successful career. In the scriptures, Psalm 11 verse 3 says, if the foundation be destroyed, what can I do? If you cannot build a successful career, then if it is not working out, don't bother to effort. Your career first and foremost, this thing you are doing over which you want to retire on, what have you made out of? So if you are on here, Ibele is your watchword, is your passport. When you retire, it will continue with you. When I joined the service as a level officer, but I had knew that for me to matter in this career, at least I must be a permanent secretary. Is that not the truth? And I know I need to do a lot. I was pursuing it with passion. I built a career. I was not looking for money. The HOS has equally mentioned it. I built my capacity. Everybody will know that in this service, so for Lord, so is a plan officer. And when it comes to planning, I took care to know it. Anytime they are introducing something new, I will be the first one to grab it. When they were doing MTech, and it was like they were engineering something from them, I just laughed. I left Ekiti State. I went to University of Benin to the library to go and explore what MTech is all about. I left that to go to University of Lagos. Went to their library. So when they said they were doing that, I became their resource person. They said, where did you learn MTech? So you must make a success of your career first. You must make a success of your career because there is a connection you are building here. Is that not the truth? And forever and ever, this place is going to be a reference point for you. This was equally mentioned it. If you have mentioned the board of notaries, what would be the comment of work? He knows what he's doing. So it's very, very important. Let me just move forward because I have 10. Number 3, you must understand the role of God in retirement. You must understand it. We are talking about those things you must understand. Yeshua equally mentioned it. That retirement is for the living, it's not for the dead. So the giver of life must be given his time place. And that is the reason they told us that success in life is 10% inspiration and 9% aspiration. But the wonderful thing is that 10% is the foundation. And that is where you pay your tithe. And if that foundation is destroyed, every other thing cannot be right. The issue is equally deaf to that also. So you must have what we call kingdom principle that you operate. Because life is not by miracle. Life is by principle. If you want to achieve success in life, you are thinking that by the time I retire, one miracle will happen. You are deceiving yourself. Because life is 90% aspiration. What you can see, what you can do, right? 10% inspiration. You must connect to that God to give you guidance. And you know that after retirement, there are so many things you want to do, right? But to find out that Paul plants, Apollo waters, it is the Almighty God of everything. So many people had wonderful plans, even when they want to retire. They have set up businesses, but your eventuality happens. They become very sick, and they have to waste all the money. And that is the reason why you have to allow God to take absolute control of your life. So you must connect with the owner of life. I had a friend, just like Yeshua said, he retired as a farm secretary in Ministry of Agriculture. And it was when he collected his gratuity that he started a fish pond last scale. Because he retired as a farm secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, he felt he had that expertise. And he went to fish farming in large scale. This time around, not pilot scheme, just large scale. And when the rain that year became very heavy, and that was how flood washed away everything. People were picking the fish on the streets on his behalf. He entered into liquidation. What will he do? So as he was lamenting and lamenting, everybody was looking at him. So at times, we commit some of these ways to the hand of God. Some people feel they are big men, they are powerful, but for me, I know there is a maker of life. So it is not by power. It is not by mind. It is by the Spirit. I've said it. It's 10% inspiration and 90% perspiration. So don't allow your God to come and do what you are trying. But that inspiring aspect of your life, commit it to the hands of the Lord. Is the one that will beautify your retirement life for you. I will not allow you to be put to shame. Let me just speak because of my time. Then you must understand the role of people. The greatest liability in life, people. The greatest asset in life, people. So you must understand the role of life in retirement. And it starts with your family, particularly your wife. If you want to have your wife or your husband, and whatsoever you do for your wife or whatever you do for your husband, God is there to reward you. The HOS has told us that it is not good for you to just feel that you have taken care of your children to come and take you are not expected to be in their ability. By the grace of God, I built myself in such a way that by the grace of God, because the Bible says that a good man leaveth inheritance for his children. You don't build yourself for you to be looking up to your children. So, but there is need for you to be good to your children, because the good name that you have been, they can destroy it overnight. You know, they say children are arrows in our hands, not in our hearts. But if you don't build up your children, they will become arrows in what? In your heart. They will be giving you sorrow. That is enough to kill you in your old age. So you must know the role of your wife. You must know the role of your children. You must know the role of your leaders. HOS knows me much on this. There is a set rule in the civil service. Even if your younger brother is made your leader, the moment it is all as your brother, you can have your say. You are not expected to have your way. As a civil servant, it is a sin for you not to do what? Have your say. But to you say, my say must become your way, my boss. It's a problem. That is the way we do it. When I was a permanent secretary, this is I know how. Okay, go there. I will just put basic yes, I can't say this. I said we now have a middle way up. But if I say I want my way, my say to become your way, you are not recognizing the position of people in your retirement. That may be the one who will be there for you after your retirement. You say I'm retired now. I'm not here again. It's because of the role of people. When this governor was a commissioner, I was his director. And that was where he discovered me. And through him, God has done wonders in my life. I have planned my life for retirement, but then he says it is not yet time. Even though you are retired, still come and be helping us in this work. That is when you know the role of people in your life. He said, if you contend with a mind of grace, your step will tear. If you see people that are carrying grace, don't trouble them. The Bible said they that compare themselves, they said they are what? They are not wise. Understanding retirement. Be yourself, be your person. Don't contend with people. Don't want to build this style of being. Just be your people can inspire you. Let me tell you, this issue that is here has inspired my life. Because when we were young, she was in planning. And as a planning officer, we were related. When I see the way she speaks, why is so hypocritical? You know what I'm saying? We started scaling up too. Your neighbor can inspire you, but you can never become your neighbor. The moment you want to become somebody, you will lose it at the time. Because doing this, your service, that is what you'll be running after. You are looking at those, your police who are having better posts. You want to become what they become. So understand the role of what? Of people. And the HOS has talked about socializing also. I'm not going to be talking much of that. Let me talk about you must be able to identify your goal at retirement. My sister-in-law was telling us when she was still in service that her goal after retirement is to live outside the country with her children. That was her goal. Just like I told you that my goal after retirement is to be a high-profile entrepreneur. I want to be paid people's salary. I have learned about GDP for long. I want to be contributing to the GDP of my state. And I'm doing it now. Because as I tell you, the people of my payroll, they are not that 10. And they give me joy. If I call this the one, if I call this the one, you know what I'm saying? But our joy was to go and live outside the country. So she used that money to insure her children to America. As I speak to you now, she's there with her husband, but she's regretting today. She still spoke to me 2 days ago. Deborah Shola, I took that decision as a child that I was not tutored. This place is for my children, it's not for me. Then they have one garden because she likes farming. They now have one garden at the back of their house. They will go and carry sawdust. They will have something that is their soil. So she said, every time I remember the fast, mad man, he led back in Africa. You say, what am I doing here? But it's too late. So, but you have to identify what is your goal after it. That was very important. And the HOS has already spoken about it. You must understand, what do I want to do? Who am I? You must be able to discover yourself, your self-identity. You know, I told you now that I said, when I was in service, I wanted to be a preacher of the gospel, free of charge. And then be a high profile, because I know that I need income for me to sustain myself to hold day without looking at the face of my people. So when they say I should come and retire for full-time ministry, I say God has not come to church. Today, by the grace of God, but when we met, HOF was that gathering when they now pronounced me as a presbyter over 2 regions. I had been taking care of one region before. I'm taking care of it. You understand what I'm saying? Even in that assignment, I have not figured. But I am building my profile. When they are calling people in the church to come and give, my name will always ring bell. I prefer that for me to be the one that will be begging. I don't like it. So, who are you? You must be able to identify your purpose. It's not too late. It's not too late. It is better late than never. Okay. I hope you are combining my own with what the HOS has spoken. Okay. Number 6, you must understand that great preparation leads to mighty manifestation. If your preparation is weak, your manifestation will equally be weak. You must prepare for it. You must prepare for it. You must be prepared for it. You must make sure that your preparation is total. And what is the greatest element of planning is that you must write it down. This is one thing I do, maybe because I am a planning officer. In my retirement, I have already created a file for retirement purpose. Some of these documents, I was filing it. Great preparation. When the Holy Spirit speaks something to me, I will note it, I will file it. If I go to any seminar, I will file it. I was reading some of these things to make sure that I do what I permanent. And as God will have it, Holy Ghost just took me, I landed in FHL as a GMG. It was by adversity, but it became advantage for me. I learned a lot when I was there. I said, yeah, this is even what I want to be doing. So when I thought they were punishing me, God was using it to give me so many wonderful things. But I was just getting myself prepared. So I think I've shared the testimony of what God has done now. Even in all this that is happening, because everything I know that power plants are full of waters. It is God. If lines are falling in a pleasant place, you owe it to the Almighty Father. But your own assignment must work. You must do. Then you must understand the advantage of streams of income. Creating a lifelong income stream that can cater for your longevity. Very, very important. Very, very important. It does not matter how. When you don't have money in your pocket, you start thinking. As you do. So in your planning, you must be able to. I just told you now. Look at me now. I will collect my pension. I will collect salary from farm. I have income from block making. I have income. I won't tell you others. You see, so I have created, stream of income. If your income is only one stream, there is a danger. There is a danger. There is a danger. So you must also create what I call streams of income. Because it's only that you say jack of all trades, master of none. But when you start to master it, when you have mastered it, then engage people to be doing it for you. Let your money to run for you. Then you can go to other new areas. But don't carry so many. I will talk about that. That is talking about risk. That's another point. In your retirement, engage what I call minimums in statistics. They will tell you, take a decision with minimum risk and maximum, benefits. Is that not true? That is minimum. Let your decision be the one that the risk will be minimal. But the benefits of that decision will be much. Don't dabble into areas you don't know. This you always spoke about it. You must, I know somebody will still talk about risk management in retirement. Don't go and start doing things that they tell you that there is one sharp, and you feel that this is your money. If you put it there, it may not fly. It may not fly. So many people will come and tell you, do this, do that, particularly when they know that you are having financial challenges, is that they want to take the victory in your hand. They know you are desperate. Then the HOS also spoke about this. You must understand your body metabolism and prioritize your wellness. She spoke extensively on that, talking about how you must socialize. That's one thing you must not take for granted. You must be people's person. Do you know that even when they are doing wedding and you dress, some of us, we have some dresses at home that we have not worn for almost 3 years. Actually, have to wear my own. You know what I'm saying? It's not me. When I'm going to church, I will potentially wear my agbada and sleep off. This actually, I must wear it too. I must go out. You understand what I'm saying? So when you attend social, somebody shall tell you, I don't do Asoebi. I do Asoebi because when I buy the Asoebi, at the end of the year, I'll pack out the Asoebi because of people. When they do Asoebi, they can't TV shall put or do many. At my work, I'm short out the door. It's not me. At the end of the year, I will pack it. The people that are needing, I can give it. So good, I have so many people in my house. It is for you to go and be wearing. So, but you have to be a social person. You have to be a social person. And then finally, okay, I'll talk about risk management a bit. Don't let me waste time on that. Finally, you must have what I call sustainability plan. I've said it earlier. A good man, Proverbs 13:22. A good man leaveth inheritance for his children. Your retirement must not be that you eat everything before you die. Yes. We have a very fast plan in our family at home. And when we now grow up, my younger ones wanted to be fighting about this. One evil that will happen is that, God forbid, if you are fighting and you carry yourself to this radio program, and they don't know that I am from your family, they will say, but JB is from this family. How I say I allowed this to happen? I took it over. I said our fathers, our forefathers who left this vast land for us, they would have ourselves sold everything. There are some people I don't know they are selling. Some of us are buying. Because we want to leave inheritance for our children. Retirement, if you have understanding of sustainability, it helps you to know that what are you living, even if they are not in Nigeria, if your children are not in Nigeria, they can sell it and it will be part of the income they will use. Is that not true? Yes. But I don't plan my life in such a way that all my children will go outside the country and my father's house will become empty. I said, this family, their name must be ringing there. None of us outside the country will be there. What is so special in it? This is where we are born. Some people must be here to do what? There must be sustainability. All of us are running to become slaves outside the country. Somebody must be here. That is the truth. So there must be sustainability plan. Your retirement, when you have opportunity of it, is for you to live well, so that others will want to emulate what you are doing and you want to follow you. I leave you with this word. Let me tell you that in life, success is accumulated effect of a life well lived. Life failure is accumulated effect of a life poorly planned. Plan your life, you will live well, and the name of the Lord will be glorified. Thank you very much.
Now, you agree with me that we are having more than what we plan for. God bless you tremendously. I know there is an expo meeting and we wouldn't want you to be late, but to the extent that you can still enjoy us, you can enjoy us. Okay, so you can join. We'll send the link to you online. We really, really appreciate you. We know God will keep on watching you tremendously. I know my colleagues here are already very personally. I've met a lot. I'm very, very excited. And we are also getting you recorded so that people that are not physically here can also enjoy it with them. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Those of us that are home, just give me a few minutes. Okay. Okay, so those of us that are online, you can just wait. So we'll quickly take some pictures with them and then we'll come back. God bless you. Sorry, our online participants. Let me. Fabiola, as soon
Hello,
as
sir.
you come, I think you are the. Yeah, if you have any slides to present, we can make you a co-host so that in case you have any slides. Thank you.
Okay, can you hear me, sir?
Loud and clear.
And then can you also see my slide?
Yes.
You can see it.
Okay, let me just give some time for people to settle down so we can start.
Thank you. Are we checking? Okay. Mr. Biola was our is a chartered accountant for many years, and we worked together in a field before. And then after he moved, we started the session, please. Then after he moved to the CFO of a pension company. So he should be able to help us to understand some of our retirement benefits of a thing. You remember that the head of service also mentioned it earlier on, and we really appreciate your coming online to share with us. Biola is based in the UK now, but he decided to keep to stay off work today so as to be able to have this session with us. Thank you. Over to you, Mr. Lawal.
Okay, thank you very much for having me, sir. And good morning, everyone. The Chief Executive Officer, the State Internal Revenue Service, thank you very for having me. I want to say this is a privileged opportunity for me to speak about the retirement, and then I also want to quickly make this correction. Before I used to work with a pension fund administrator before, which is NFPC Pension Fund Administrators Limited, and I was the head of internal audit before I left 2 years ago. But currently, I also run my own practice and then also into pension consulting. So everything we are going to be discussing today, based on my experience with new regulations and the rest. So I want to say thank you once again. So before I dive into the topic of today, my topic is about navigating the post-retirement life. That is the topic I have with me. But before going into details, I would like to quickly give us a little background, okay, about the pension, the CPS, which is contributions pension scheme, and then the defined benefit. I know my audience I'm talking to today, because some of them might probably be, when they are retiring, I was told that probably be retiring in the next 2 or 3, 5 years. And then people might probably be under DB scheme, that is defined benefit scheme, and then also as the contributory pension scheme, which is a pension act of 2004. So I will try to discuss about both, and then also give us an insight as to the CPS, which I believe majority of people will be retiring, will be assessing their pension based on when they are retiring. Prior before the issue, when we CPS came on board, we have defined benefit, which of course some of us are still currently going, still going to be assessed. And then because of the challenges and constraints we have before then the Obasanjo government came in power and then changed the pension scheme, and then in 2004, and that scheme has changed the dynamics and of the pension industry in Nigeria. And currently, we have about 4 stakeholders in that field, operating in that space. And then number one is you and I, who are the employees, okay? And then we have the PFA, who are the pension fund managers. And then we have the PFC, we call them the pension custodian. And we also have the PENCOM itself, who are the regulator. All these people work together to ensure that when we are all of us are retiring from our from spending 35 years or the as case may be, we all retire happy. And then the the focus, or let me say the slang about the retirement of CPS is retire happy. So I believe by the time all of us retire fully, we all retire happy. So I want us to also quickly mention something about the current view, what is happening in our environment, particularly in the Ekiti State. The current administrator of Governor Abiodun Oyebamji has done quite a lot in this sector. In payment of gratuities, in payment of pension arrears. As a matter of fact, about over 35 billions have been paid by this. I think in prioritizing the welfare of both the current staff and then the retirement, the governors has done quite a well. I think it deserves a lot of applause. And it's important for me to state that if you look at the trend in the past, this administration has done quite well. So kudos to the governor, to the team, and then to the Christine Pension Commission for doing a good job. Also, in the last year, in order to ensure that the challenges inherited by the governor or the administration is being eliminated, the Ekiti is now under the CPS fully, and then the monthly pension has been limited as and when due. So that brings us, giving a lot of little background in terms of what is currently obtainable as Ekiti. So the future is very bright for the Ekiti State retirees as more than it used to be. So I want to say congratulations to the potential retiree in advance. So having said that, I want us to also talk about the before retirement, during retirement, and then post-retirement. So before your retirement, some of us probably we have our RSA accounts. It's important for us to update our addresses, our next of kin, and then we ensure that, so by the time you retire, there will not be any issue with our assessing our retirement. I mean, pension as a time you are retiring. Number two, during the retirement, by the time you retire, 6 months to your retirement, you are supposed to be notified by your Ekiti Commission to then allowing talking to your PFA. I know every one of us who are on this CPS have an account with PFA of your choice. So you need at that point to constantly talking to them and then attend probably retiree forums. So this will give you an update as to regard to what are the documents you require. So I will also mention in this meeting that the document required as when you are going to for you to access your pension, your ID card, your official notification of acceptance of retirement, your bit of your certificate of birth or declaration of age as that was retirement. Wow, these documents are very important. And then one major document that is very important that you must ensure you have is your pay slip. At least you must have the 3 last months of your pay slip is very important because this is going to form the basic computation of how much you are going to be getting when you are going to retire. What are the things, how do we determine how much I'm going to be earning on your retirement? Depend on about 2 or 3 factors. Number one is your what do you have in your pension pot? What do I mean by your pension pot? When you the government pay 10% and you contribute 8%. So total of 18% goes to your monthly pension account every month. And then this money, the PFA, who is the pension managers, they invest this money into so many financial instruments like FGM bond, treasury bill, money market. So these are out when money goes to them, they invest this money, and then it's a pool of fund, and then which they invested. So if you see, for some of us who have received our what's it called in recent time, you will see that you will see employer, and then you see the growth on your account. So basically, what you're going to be collecting at the end of your when you are retiring is that what you have in your pension pot. So that determines how much you're going to be earning, and then your payments. I mean, what you earn, your salary at the retirement. Now, one of the things that has happened in recent time by PENCOM, which is regulators, is to also review the way payment is being paid, right? One of the things they do is to remove the restriction age of 60 to 65, because initially they believe everybody retire at the age of 60, but at the matter of fact, we have lecturers who retire at the age of 65. Some have, so they remove that, and also remove the restriction they place that you can only either you pay minimum of 25% for a lump sum, or 50% as a maximum of 50% as a lump sum. So all this restriction has been removed. What determines that now is, number one, your salary, what you are going to be when you submit your pay slip at the end of the day, when you are retired, they will look at your salary, multiply it by 12, they get your annual gross salary. And based on that, the maximum you can enjoy as a pensioner is 50% of your annual income. And then the minimum you can enjoy is the 1/3 of the current minimum wage, which is 70,000. Meaning that if your annual salary, like, and if your annual salary is divided by 12, and then they divided by that by 12, and then divided by 3 again, then the 1/3 must not less than 23,000. Meaning that if your pension computation is less than 23,000, then you will not be you will collect all your money in your pension pot for your own good. But if it's about 23,000 naira, then you will be on pension. That is a new guideline that the PENCOM is being done. And it is mean that, which is initially what the lump sum they pay is depend on, like I said, what you have in your pension pot. It could be 25% and then maximum of 50%, but that decision has been taken care of. What determines that now is what I said now: 50% of your annual salary divided by 12 will be your maximum, and then 1/3 of the minimum wage will be what you'll be collecting as. So if they compute there's a template. If they slot in your information on that template, and it's less than 23,000 naira, then whatever you have in your pension pot will be given to you as lump sum. And then from there, you now manage your own pension by yourself. So that is the one I want to pass across to everyone of us to know that. So so let me now try and go to my slide to begin my my slide for today. So I mentioned some of these things I said, talking about the understanding your pension retirement. And then, like I said initially, we have gratuity and then pension. When you talk about gratuity, it's called defined benefit scheme, which is for those who are probably being in service, maybe they are closer to retirement and they are not under the CPS. You cannot be on both. You can only be on CPS or be on the defined benefit scheme. So when you retire, or if you retire under the gratuity scheme, which is the defined benefit, you are going to, the government is funded by the government alone, and the government is going to pay you a lump sum and then place you on the monthly pension. Okay, and then this, what it does for you is that at the point of, you can get bigger gratuity depending on your level at retirement, and then so you can, from there, you can use that money for whatever you want to do is for your own good. And then under the pension CPF, which is the Pension Act, so you also get a lump sum, and then you also get a periodic regular income on monthly basis. So when you are retiring, we have two options. To go to, either to go with what is called a program withdrawal, or annuity. I know quite a lot of people, you'll be hearing about annuity and program withdrawal. And let me also quickly point this out. Both scheme, whether annuity or program withdrawal, is retirement you are going to enjoy till death. Don't allow people lie to you that, oh, program withdrawal is for 10 years or annuity is for 10 years. No, both is till death. So that is the way pension is, because at the point of retiring, you have money in your pension, you get lump sum, and then the remaining one what you'll be paying. And as the government, the PFA will pay you till death. So at the point, even peradventure that something happened to your pension, you didn't have money in your pension pot account, don't worry. There is a provision by the government and the PFA to ensure that you must get paid till you die. So that is key for us to have that understanding. So both annuity and pension is for when someone die. So don't allow anyone. What I have, if we see cases whereby some people are selling annuity, they say, "Oh, program withdrawal is for 10 years. Other 10 years will not be paid again." No, it is a lie. Both annuity and pension, they are both till when you receive your money till when you come to when someone died. So I don't want to go to whether I want to choose between program withdrawal and annuity. Both have their own advantages and their disadvantages. But if there's anyone probably want to know whether can I go for annuity or should I go for program withdrawal, then maybe I can answer that question. So because of my time, let's just move on. So I'm trying to give a balance as to both the gratuity defined benefit scheme and then pensioner. So now my next slide is about, I want to go to the challenges. What are the challenges we are going to face after post-retirement? Because the reason I'm putting this as the critical point is the fact that I have provided a solution how to mitigate against these challenges. Okay, that's why I want to discuss those challenges upon post-retirement. And then luckily for me, both the two speakers have spoken about those challenges, and then I won't spend more of my time discussing these issues again. So one of the probably the one that probably they've not mentioned, or probably they've not expanded more on, that I can talk about. So number one is inflation and rising costs. Okay, so currently the Nigerian inflation is about 22%. Of course, that means that whatever if you earn 1 naira is depleted by 22%. So your purchasing power is low. So inflation is a major challenge we have as post-retirement. And then, of course, rising cost of things, we all know that, same time, though the economy is stable, things have actually gone up. So these are challenges. When there's any reform in the economy, it results to this kind of challenges I'm talking about, which inflation and rising costs. So, but if the economy is stable, and then the purchasing power will be strong, you'll be able to do what? Spend whatever you are earning from your pension is enough for you to take care of yourself. Number two, people have thought about it for investment choices. It's a big, because a lot of people, when we retire, we get that lump sum. Perhaps maybe somebody is collecting million, 4 million, 5 million for the first time in his entire career. And then the money is so much, and then somebody will bring to you, let's do a business, let's do investment. I can do MMM, give you this amount, and you get is all lies. So we need to be very, very careful in terms of what kind of investment choices I want to do. Okay, so because when you lump sum, people can have money and then they want to spend the money. And one of the things also I also want to mention is the fact that when you receive your lump sum, it's not the time for you want to be an hotel, or they build a 4-bedroom duplex. I'm telling you, when you start, that money might not be enough. And you come back, I've seen people coming back to PFA to say, oh, I finished money the lump sum, I want to access more, and it's not allowed. So it is not the time to start a big project. because that money is for you is to live, to eat, to take care of yourself till when the time comes to answer the call of God. So that is one thing we need to be very careful on. Another thing I've been mentioning is issue of related expenses. To be honest, a lot of us have use our body the way we wanted it, and then when we get to the old age, then the nature require for it. So then there's tendency that we must spend money on medical bills. So what the solutions are, which I think I'm going to be mentioning is about getting is in my next slide. And then dependency syndrome, of course, the societal pressure is there, family obligation can also deplete your savings quickly. There's what is called a Parkinson law. It's about the law that says that as your income increases, your expenses you always meet, your expenses equal your income. Because some of us are earning an average salary right now, we manage our expenses. So now you now have a lump sum. Then you think, oh, I need to buy this, I need to buy the latest car, I need to buy this. So automatically, when you know it, that money that you receive as a lump sum will just go down. And then you now home will now be struggling. So and then another thing is lifetime mismanagement. So because we are used to a lifestyle when we are working active working, we are expecting bonuses, we are necessarily kind of salary increments. So we tend to live a lifestyle that probably, but as long as you retire, all those things might probably be streamlined. You won't be receiving that kind of money again. So it's only live on pension, except you have children, family who can support you during that period. But then we need to look at our lifestyle at post-retirement before to enjoy our retirement. So now we are going to the practical guidance of managing our funds when we retire. So if we are one of the people falling in the DBS, the Defined Benefit Scheme, when you receive your lump sum, number one thing is for you, if you are kind of person who have a debt, a young basic. So one of the things you need to do is probably pay down on your loan, pay down on your debt. So when you are put down on debt, because it will free you from any unrest. Because when you owe somebody, then you are forced to, people you keep coming to you and asking for money, and then at that point you will not live a peaceful life. So just make sure, and then before even that, before you even get to retirement, before you assess your gratuity or lump sum, please, if you have, slow down on the loan that you collect or debt that you owe, because by the time you get to retirement, you will not be in active service, you will not be any more like before. Then it's going to be difficult for you to pay all those loans. So at the point when you are probably, for those of us who are probably retiring in the next 2 or 3, 5 years, then begin to pay down on the loans, reduce. If there's no need for you to get any loan, don't do it, because let me tell you, in retirement, cash is king. You might have a building, you might have a house, using it for renting, which is good. But if you give your house to somebody, you rent it out to somebody and it's not paying you, that's another problem. So what you need to do is ensure that you have enough liquidity. Cash is a king at retirement. Even whether at retirement anytime, you need to have enough liquidity to survive. So and then the doctor mentioned this, for avoid risky ventures. Don't put yourself don't go and do any investment that you don't even know anything about. At least people who spoke before me have mentioned this, and also it is important for us to ensure that we don't go into any investment that will jeopardize our pension. So another thing you can do is to apply this rule 50, 30, 20. Even 50 is for immediate needs, your routine needs, and then 30 is for emergency fund. When you have your money, put 30% for emergency fund. When thing comes, just to keep for that. That is still what we talk when they talk in economics, motive for money. So So this part is emergency fund. Just keep that 30% there in case there's any case for emergency. That's what is called emergency fund. And then even with your lump money, the lump sum 20%, you can see you reinvest that money, so that that can also help you. All right. So the same thing with managing your pension. When you receive your pension, also lump sum, do the same thing, and then your monthly pension is fixed. Okay. In order to CPS, the government is also trying to do something to mitigate against inflation. So they do what is called enhancements on our pension. If you are retired after 3 or 4 years, the government will do what is called enhancement. They do a revised pension. So if you have your pension, what you have in your fund, your pension pot has grown with the growth, then they will do a revised pension, and then they will increase that your pension with maybe 2,000, 3,000, depending on the significance in your growth of your pension fund. So that is a situation whereby you can have a variable in your monthly pension, but it's always fixed. Okay, so you know what is coming to you every month, and then the good things about most of the PFAs pay between 21st and 22nd, so you know when your income is coming in. So that you can always plan towards your pension payments. So what are the tools and income stream? Now that we said that don't just go and invest anything on any kind of venture that you don't have an idea or someone introduced to you. There are also tools, there are other ways you can also manage your money. One of the things you need first to do is to do, because of what the challenges I mentioned initially, which is your medical. You can do what is health insurance, and then we have a lot of HMOs recent in the country now that are providing this service for retirees. So we can sign on to that, so that you don't need to spend so much money on your medical bills on monthly basis. When you have HMO, you just go to them, pay them their premium, and then you are covered for a whole year. So one of the things the PenCom is doing currently, which I think they are already at the implementation stage, is that anyone above 60 years that are earned less than 40,000 naira monthly pension, the government is trying to set up this pre-medical for them. And I think this is a good initiative from the government, the federal government, to support all the pensioners, whether from Ekiti for everywhere the world, as long as you less than 40,000, and then you are above 60 years, and then just look out for this opportunity when it comes. That the PenCom is working on this, so please look for that opportunity and enroll for that. So this will take care the money. That means you have free medical service at the retirement. So number 2 is retiree friendly investment. One of the things that is one of the areas you can invest your lump sum is this financial instruments, treasury bills, FGM bonds, and then probably reliable cooperatives. So treasury bills is very low in risk. You are sure, and then you don't need big money to start. In fact, the FGM bond, you can do 5,000. So let me also try for some of us that are looking for fixed income, regular income. If you want to do FGM bond, FGM bond come every year, and then it's minimum of 2 years and maximum of 3 years tenure. So meaning that if you subscribe to any of those things, you will pay a coupon, an interest 3 months. Okay, every 3 months you get your coupon. So and then you take depending on which of the tenure you choose. If you choose 2 years, then within 2 years, whatever percentage you have, whatever the interest, that's what you will earn for the next 2 years at every 3 months. So let me give you a strategy. If you have 3 million, okay, for instance, you want to invest, you can break this 3 million into, let's say you retire in the month of August now, and you have assessed your lump sum in the month of September. Now, invest 1 million naira in this month. By October, invest another 1 million. And then by, I think, November, 1 million. So what you are doing is you actually invested 3 million, but you split it into 3. What that means is that every month for the next 2 years, you're receiving income. Okay, because that income will be spread because it's like I said initially, when you buy FGN bond, it's 3 months. So before the first 3 months comes in, you receive your okay, for August now, you receive your first coupon in December. Okay. For October on, you receive it in January. So every month you just be earning something. And then that with that plus your monthly income, at least you can budget on that and then you see enjoying. So when after 2 years or 3 years, whichever the case may be, then you can do it again because FGN bond is always come every month. So you do the money again, do the same thing. You can be doing that every 2 years or every 3 years, and then you keep getting more money for yourself at the end of the day. The only thing that could change is maybe if the interest at the point of buying those, subscribing to those FG bond come down, it can come down, it can go up, whatever the case may be, it's still an additional income for you to enjoy. So also, you can also join a labor cooperative if you know. For some of us who are working, we know that we have a cooperative. If your cooperative allow you to, after you have retired, you can still be a member. Of course, it's another way of continue being that. What you achieve with this is like you have some fund there. If you want to get a short loan, you can get it from them. Or number two, if they are sharing their dividend or their profit sharing, you still be part of it. If they are sharing 1 bag of rice, you will also get that. So it's good one way or the other if you continue to be a member of a cooperative society. So you can also start a small business. This small business is something that you have been doing before you retire. Not when you have passion for. Like doctor was saying, I mean, the head of service was saying, lecturing. If you are gifted in that, like the former permanent secretary said when he was making his own presentation, he said he wanted to be a bishop. If you are your core, just get something in doing. You have to be active. Being in retirement doesn't mean you should stop working. Only for you to just do something that keep your body. And then I believe a lot of us who want to sit down in the kitchen, continue their life, you can go into farming, your bag, cocoa, we can, there's so many things we can actually do that doesn't require us to lose our investments. Am I communicating or am I still fast?
Yeah, hearing you.
Okay, sir. So this is about I think a lot of this next slide is about see part of the how to partner our emotional and social well-being, and this have been discussed. So I will not talk more about it. It's very important when you are retired to stay connected, being joining a community, religious and social groups, and then maintaining an ancestral life is very important. This has been mentioned. So another thing you can also do, all of us who are working in government parastatal were exposed to a lot of training, we got a lot of experiences, and then it is time for us to also give back. We can do by volunteering, we can do by mentoring the younger ones, so that they can become a better person. People should see you contribute our own quota to the community we find ourselves. Join CDA and then create that enable environment by when people are looking for knowledge, sharing knowledge. Oh, they know that. Let me go and meet daddy. So. So we can also do that in our retirement. And then issue of nurturing relationship is very key. Retirement is lonely because at that time probably is if you have your husband and your wife be at home, or because at that time no children are available at home again, so it's lonely. So we need to keep have this family bonding, okay, such that at the end of the day all the family member you enjoy your retirement even when your children are not available. But it's good to create that enabling environment for yourself. So I have a case study here for a real life for us to look at. Is Mr. A and Mr. B who retire at the same time. All right. So Mr. A, in this case, is a retired civil servant. He received a 5 million gratuity in 2018. And then the action he made was he invested the entire amount in a filling station business without prior expenses. Okay. And then so he received 5 million in 2018, and then he started a business, filling station business. All the 5 million naira he received, and then the outcome of this, the business failed due to mismanagement and then lack of market insight, So, and then unfortunately, he lost the money. So, facing financial strain and then regrets. So, it was not just like the head of Tavi said that when she saw somebody, she was not happy, and then she said, I don't want to end up my life with this. So, to avoid regret in retirement, we need to be careful the kind of investment we put our money into. And then for the case study for Mrs. B, he has a success story. And then also, she also retired, and then she received gratuity like Mr. A, and then, but what he did was he used a portion to complete the part of the house, okay, and then use the balance to do what? To buy government bond, like I explained, and then so with whatever is coming from there, he was living he lives a comfortable life, stress free, and then has a good life, good health, and then is also support the community. So we have two case study here. One is cautionary, and then the other one is successful story. So I want all of us to have a successful story regarding the way we manage our pension at retirement. So the lesson learned is that we must, number one, must prudent in our planning and secure investments that always outweigh the allure of high risk ventures. Don't invest in quick fix, quick money, MMM, and then cryptocurrency. Please, they are all volatile. Even stock equity at that time is not something you want to go and invest your money. Whatever equity you want to buy, stock that you want to buy, by now, if you have bought them, and then by the time you are retiring, you just be getting dividend from those equity. So immediate action step for the potential retirees, like I said when I started, review your PFA statement to show that there's no any gap so that you avoid any delay, and then ensure you have a constant discussion with your PFA. And so debt clearance plan, make sure you have you plan how to maximum or reduce your pension before you retire, and then have a retirement plan, have a budget, concerning your full healthcare, housing, and transportation needs, is very important. And then you need to consult a financial advisor, advisor for or your PFA officer before making any significant investment decision. It's very important. We can talk to your PFAs, regarding, or your financial advisor regarding any investment decision before you take them. And then lastly, make sure you prioritize your well-being. Is very important. Taking this step will set you on path to be more secure and worry-free retirement. So it means you're going to retire happy. So I will leave you with this word. Just a minute. Retirement is not a withdrawal from life, but the transition to living on your own terms. With the right management of your pension and gratuity, you can secure dignity, independence, and fulfillment in this new phase. I want to say congratulations to the potential retirees, And I pray that your retirement, you will live it with happily in Jesus' name. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, I'm open for questions for 10 minutes. Thank you very much, sir. You're muted, sir. You're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Okay. I want to really appreciate you for Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Okay. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
You left us alone and that thing has gone on. Let's use this one. All right. Hello?
Hello, I can hear you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. So if anybody has questions, you just need to raise your voice so that we'll be able to pick you from here.
Okay, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Please, the FGM bond that you mentioned,
Okay, sir.
I would like to have more insight on that so that we can start investing into that.
Okay, sir. That's fine, sir. So the FGM bond is you can actually talk to if you have a stockbroking firm, a stockbroker, you can talk to your stockbroker, or you can talk to your bank.
Okay.
Do you hear me? Can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
So federal government issue FGM bond every month. In fact, as at yesterday, they just issued the one for September. Okay, I think is for the one for 2 years is 14.5% interest, and then for the one for 3 years is 15% or thereabout. So it's always come up every year and every month. So and then it come up in tenure of 2 years and then 3 years. So if you invest for this month, you can still have invest next month. You can do as low as 5,000 naira. It's going to have millions of naira before you can invest on FGM bond. So it's another very good way to save for your retirement.
Okay.
Any other question? Instead of talking inside, why don't you talk? Do you have questions? Yes, no? None. Okay, I have a question, sir.
Okay, sir.
Let's assume I have been working and then I retired. Just like the permanent secretary, the permanent secretary said, he's retired and now he comes back into service again and begins to earn.
Okay.
Will it be proper for him now to? Will it be proper for the organization now not to deduct pay from him? I mean, not to deduct pension from him again, so that he
So-
just collects.
Okay, okay, it is it's optional.
Okay.
He can collect his money because if he's already enjoying pension, okay, he's already a retiree. So if he chooses to collect pension, I mean, say he opts for pension fund, that means he has to deduct his own whatever he's collecting, and then what government is paying to him. The government will pay, but it go as additional. It's called it voluntary contribution.
Yeah.
So okay, so he can opt for in for that. He can opt out for that. So, but if it's going in, it's called voluntary contribution. That is where it is being treated currently. So, but if it shows okay, I don't want to be part of it, the government will not contribute their own part, and then his own money will not be deducted too. So you just collect based on what is available, what is pay. So
That's the loss.
I
said that means it's losing.
That is the beauty, yes, because it's already because we have people who are retired and they go back to work, and then the organization they are working with decide to remit on their behalf. So
Yeah.
whatever is being remitted is treated as voluntary contribution. So you can go back, and that part you can add it to the existing one, and they will now do a revised pension for him. Okay,
Yeah.
that will now increase his pension fund. That means whatever he has in the pension pot has increased with the additional contribution.
Okay.
Does that make sense, sir?
It does. It does. Thank you. Any other? There's a message. Okay. There's a message in the chat room.
Okay.
It says, can
I know that this question will always come up. So let me quickly talk about. So for the for some of our other CPS, okay, when you are retired, you have, like I said, you have option to either you continue with the PFA you are currently with, and then they do that under program withdrawal. And then if you choose to go to annuity, it means you are moving your fund. After they have paid you your lump sum, whatever balance you have on your pension pot, they will move it to annuity. The annuity is being managed by insurance company. It's no longer under PENCOM. Now, what are the difference? Based on my experience, when you are going to annuity usually have higher monthly pension than program withdrawal. And then they do this to attract people to come to annuity. Now, the annuity is also to death. And then, like I said, program withdrawal is until when someone dies. Now, the difference between annuity and program withdrawal is this. For program withdrawal, you have access to your quarterly statements. You always see the growth on your accounts. But in case of annuity, you might not have access to that statement of accounts. Now, under the annuity, the 10 years period is if someone died before 10 years period, under annuity, then the whatever balance on that account, that is, if you, for instance, if you say when you move to annuity, you go with 1 million naira, and then by year 7, you have collected 700,000 naira. Okay, they will only pay you the 300,000 naira outstanding to your family, not plus the growth on that account. But in case of program withdrawal, whatever you have at that port on in your account, pension pot, plus the growth, it will be paid to your family. If someone die after 10 years in annuity, your family will not get anything. But under program withdrawal, whatever balance they have in that account goes to your family after 10 years. So they are being managed by 2 different organizations. Program withdrawal is managed by the PFA. Annuity is managed by insurance company. The 2 of them, when they designed it, is within 10 years, and then that doesn't mean you not collect after 10 years. Both of them, like I said, is till someone died. But the only advantage I always tell people about program withdrawal is you're able to see the growth, and then you also participate in what is called enhancement. When your government is doing revising the pension, trying to mitigate against inflation. But unlike annuity, you don't get that kind of revised pension. So these are the major difference between annuity and program withdrawal. Does that make sense? Hello? Yeah, I'm Teresa.
You hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
Okay, thank you. We really appreciate you joining us today, and I believe my colleagues are already they're already excited to have you. If possible, maybe 1 or 2 persons may still want to ask you personal question. If you wouldn't mind,
Okay.
I'll give them your WhatsApp number so that they can chat with you later.
That's okay, sir.
Thank
That's
you.
fine.
We're very, very grateful.
You're welcome,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me too. I appreciate it.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. Bye. Yeah. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what will be your view, but for me, I would suggest that we just go on, if you don't mind. You have had your tea, so okay. So if you already have your tea, Engineer Nat, are you ready for us, sir? Engineer Nat Olaoye, are you ready for us, sir? Because his own session is actually supposed to come up 12:35. And he's still telling you to maybe we'll just stretch ourselves. Okay, sorry, I think it's muted. Let me just
Okay, yes, I was muted and I was trying to answer that I'm ready if the house is ready.
Okay. I think we can take you. Okay. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Engineer Nathaniel Olaoye was also with us last year, and he retired as a general manager in NNPC. He was in charge of sustainability for the whole organization. He was also in charge of their budgets, and more often than not, anytime I go to Abuja, I make sure I visit him. I've learned a lot of things from him, and I keep on learning from him. Good enough is also from Ekiti here. And so I'll just encourage you to please open your heart. You learn, you grasp as much as you can. Thank you. You can go ahead, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good afternoon once again to everybody. I'm pleased to be here. I believe everybody is seeing my screen.
We are seeing your screen, don't know your face.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to show my face. Are you seeing my face now?
Not yet.
I've already clicked for the camera to be opened. I don't know.
Okay. It's not open yet. Okay, maybe we just go on.
Okay. Okay, once again, good afternoon. Good afternoon once again. I'm really pleased to be here. And I've listened to the previous messages and the presentation that have been done. Many of them, many of those statements are already expected to be in mind. So in some of the places, I will just jump the slide so that we'll be able to keep to time. The roadmap for my presentation is as seen on the screen. That is, we have the introduction and purpose. We talk about the understanding retirement phases. We discuss about the financial readiness essentials, and the health and the well-being, wellness habit, family, social life and faith, opportunity areas in the public sector, friendly agriculture and digital space. Then we look at just a mini case studies and testimonial of those who have retired. Then we talk about interactive exercise or personal action plan. That is in terms of question and answer from anybody who may have any. Now, as a sort of introduction, once again, my name is Nathaniel Olaoye. I'm a Chief Executive Officer of Natula Nigeria Limited. It's a consulting company. I've actually worked with, after retirement, as the chairman has introduced, I've worked with the MSN Energy. I've also partnered with Ekiti State in terms of strategic development, and also I'm also a consultant to CFA studies. So these are some of the things I do, and I'm pleased also to be here. And maybe after today, I may also gladly put one of my partners as the Ekiti State Internal Revenue Service, if possible. Now, why are we here? The objective for this presentation today is we discover that many retirees seek purpose, they seek financial stability and ways to stay active after civil service or former careers. The presentation will show that retirement is not an end, but a new beginning filled with opportunities. And so what we expect in this presentation, we will talk about opportunity areas in the public sector, in the friendly ventures in agriculture, the digital business space. We will also learn from success stories. And by the end, you will have ideas, a simple plan, and the motivation to actually take action. The tone and the approach of the presentation, the session is going to be inspirational. You will hear uplifting stories and quotes. And let me also point out before I continue that I'm a teacher, and I happen to be, I like talking to people in the church. I don't want to call myself pastor. So if by mistake, during the course of the talking, I say, praise the Lord, just know you may not need to answer, but it has been part of it to say praise the Lord when talking to my people. So you may decide to answer, you may not decide to answer. So it's not, don't take it as, okay, maybe this man thinks, say maybe he's already in front of the pulpit. So,
okay.
So, and we will talk about the teaching in terms of instructional and also skill for planning. Now, going straight into the business of the day. Now, mindset sheet, age is actually an asset. Now, I mentioned it to be inspirational. The Bible said in Psalm 92:14 that they will still bear fruit in old age. They will stay afresh, they will stay fresh and green. But then it is natural to worry the question will be that, am I not too old for this? That is a question that people usually ask themselves, even at this stage, at a stage. What if I fail? But you need to remember that every entrepreneur faces fear, regardless of age. So we need to actually replace our thinking of I'm too old with I'm too experienced. That is, being too old, you replace it I'm too experienced, because experience is an advantage. Experience is actually an advantage. Retirement is a new beginning, which we need to approach with curiosity. And for many of us who may be in the room, I believe we are Yoruba, so I may be free to state. That's why I put this statement on the screen. For those who are not Yoruba, it took the wisdom of both the young and old to create the city of life. The old age is an asset to an individual. The Yoruba people, they will say what the old man will see when sitting, the young man may not see it when he climb an Iroko tree. So your experience is a treasure that when combined with new ideas, it can build something great. So the common fear of I'm too old to start. What if I fail? I'm not tech savvy. I don't have capital. Ladies and gentlemen, let us jettison this. I'm an experienced person. I've actually participated in teaching this even before I got retired, because I work in the planning department, and I've actually passed through a lot of training. I've started attending training of this maybe by just sitting in the class, because I may be one of the organizers, even when I was about 5 years to my retirement age. And having retired now, going to 3 years, I can also share experience with us. So the experience, the age is actually an asset for all of us, which we must be able to actually utilize. Now, why do we have to think of experience? Why do we have to think of something to do even after 60? It is necessary, because retirement is not an end, but a new beginning filled with opportunities. The head of service of the Federation said this. I also listened to the head of service of Ekiti State when she was speaking. It was actually marvelous. And some of those things she said, they are those things that we actually need to put at the left hand of ourselves, so that we can be able to think about it. And thank God the chairman said the messages are being recorded. So we need to actually listen back to some of these statements, so that we can be able to make use of them appropriately. Because to whom much is given, much is expected. Your talent and experience can still bless others. It's not just going to remain in you. It's a period where you have to look back and see yourself as having an asset residing in you. If somebody has worked for more than 30 years, there are things that are deposited in you. Pension and gratuity often fall short due to rising living costs. And that is one of the reasons why you have to think as an entrepreneur. And it is better to plan properly on how to start a new quality life after service than slip into hardship. I pray we will not slip into hardship, but it's always better to actually plan well, because idleness may also seriously harm the body that have been actively working for over 30 years. You will be there be a feeling of what am I going to do this morning? What am I going to do? So engaging in work or business, keep your mind sharp and body active. Let me point out that one of the things that medical doctors usually tell us, that we must exercise our body. It is not only the body that you need to exercise, you also exercise the brain. The brain is like a cutlass or a sharp object or a knife. Let me put it as a knife or nail that you keep at the corner of the room. When that sharp cutlass or maybe shining iron is put by the side of the room, after about a year, you will see rot on the metal. And that is how the brain is. If you are not actively using your brain, it impacts on your cognitive ability. It impacts on your ability to be able to reason well. And the brain also controls the rest part of the body. Eventually, what will happen, the individual will start looking older than what he's supposed to be. And that is why you see people who are actually very active, even after retirement, you see them looking younger. It happens. So many studies show active seniors have better health mood, and longevity because of the fact that they are actually keeping themselves active. So keeping oneself active is actually very essential. And that is one of the reasons why one can go and become an entrepreneur even after 60. Now, there are also sense of purpose. You also develop a sense of purpose. You have gained skill and wisdom after decades of service, perhaps as a teacher, perhaps as anything, any position you might be handling, you might have passed through in the system. You have actually gained experience. There are some things that have already deposited in you, which you need to actually, see how you can be able to utilize them. Myself, for example, I work in NNPC for more than 30 years. And I discovered that after retirement, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? How do I keep myself busy? I have to think of what I've been doing in the past that have been working for me. What are those things that I enjoy doing? And I went straight into it. I've been a teacher both in the church and also in the office. And so I went into teaching, and that's what I'm doing to you, ladies and gentlemen, this morning. And I'm enjoying doing it. So that is one of the benefits of retirement. You can be able to do what you like, what you enjoy, and you enjoy doing it. And if peradventure you are lucky, this thing will also start bringing money, and you feel a sense of purpose. As I'm speaking with you this morning, I feel a sense of purpose. I feel I'm impacting life. I feel I'm imparting knowledge into people. I feel I'm sharing information with you, which can actually impact you. And that is what I enjoy, a sense of purpose. There are also opportunities in Nigeria today where you can be able to use this to actually generate funds to yourself. And that is why you can also be an entrepreneur at 60. Society increasingly recognize the value of failure these days. That is the situation we have seen. The federal made as practical entrepreneurship training for prospective retirees is available. These are all signaling to starting a venture in your 60s. It is a smart move backed by society. You can create something that can potentially be passed to your children or provide jobs to younger people. So starting a venture in your 60s is a smart move backed by the society. And of course, you have a legacy for family. You create something that can potentially be passed to your children or younger jobs or provide job for younger people. That is one of the opportunities you can actually find yourself doing. So you can transform into an enterprise that continues to impact others. So rather than your expertise ending with retirement, it transforms into an enterprise that continues to impact others. That is what makes a difference between somebody who become an entrepreneur, who keep himself active, somebody who keep himself active after retirement. You discover that your expertise, it transforms into an enterprise that continues to impact others. And that is what the message for all of us today. Now, here I just want to tell us briefly on the stages, the transition phases. The first transition stage is the retirement stage, which is what we are passing through now. As all of us in the room, we are yet to retire, but we are actually passing through the retirement stage. And after this stage, immediately after retirement, we talk about the honeymoon stage. Then you talk about the disenchantment stage, where the reality of retirement actually setting. Then you talk about the reorientation. And of course, the last stage is the stability. I'm going to go through each of these stages, one after the other, so that we can be able to really understand what we need to do, what the stages mean, and the advice for people even as they get to the stage. The number one stage, as I mentioned, is the retirement stage. Now, the reality of retirement will start setting in. You start thinking, oh, am I actually going to retirement? Is it going to be the end of my career in the service? There'll be emotional, there'll be financially, there'll be professionally. All this will be juggling through the head. And then what will be happening? You'll be attending government organized retirement workshop, which is exactly what is happening today. thank God for the chairman that have been able to organize this. It's actually a very big benefit that people in the service can enjoy, where the leadership actually feel it necessary to impart this knowledge into people, because it creates an impact that will last through their lifetime. So you attend government organized pre-retirement workshop, you start learning from people. People will start telling you what they are doing, what they have done in the past, and what they are expecting what they are expecting you to be doing. Then you at a stage you begin documentation for gratuity and pension processing. The document will be circulated. You start filling the form. You start thinking. You start getting filling form and submitting, and that will eventually lead to anxiety. There could be anxiety around delays in pension. What is going to happen if my pension is delayed? This anxiety will start setting in. What is going to happen if I'm not paying my gratuity on time? These are some of the thinking that be coming into the mind of people. I'm an experienced person and I know what it is, so I'm sharing experience with us based on what I've seen. Then there will also be thinking of planning for business venture, whether in agriculture, whether in trading, whether in consulting or real estate. That thinking will start coming up. Then you start considering relocation to hometowns for post-retirement life. Do I have a home in the village? Am I going to stay in the capital city? Am I relocating? Some will even say, okay, am I relocating abroad? So these are some of the stages that thinking that we find ourselves during the pre-retirement stage, which all of us in the room happen to find ourselves now. And what do we need to do as an advice even at this stage?
Some are complaining about retirement to their own villages. I don't know what they are giving here.
You mean some are considering going to their own village?
And they are wondering whether it's
that is what I just mentioned. That is what I just mentioned here. It's
I
also
know when you mentioned it, there was a reaction in the room. I don't know why.
You know, that is basically how I used to be. Talking from experience. If I may digress a little, when I knew I was to retire, I was considering. I've lived all my life in Abuja, and one of the things I was thinking about, okay, do I relocate to Ado-Ekiti? Do I relocate to Akure? Should I go back to Okemesi? I'm from Okemesi, ladies and gentlemen. So do I go back to Okemesi to go and stay? What do I actually do? And all these things were going on in my head. Or do I even relocate to Lagos? But at the end of the day, if I can share with us, I have to think through, where am I going to be kept busy? If I'm going to relocate to Ado-Ekiti today, I will need new friends. If I'm going to relocate to Ado-Ekiti today, I will need to start finding out how to navigate the area. Before retirement, when I was thinking of relocating to Ado-Ekiti, I bought land, I bought property. But then, after listening to lectures that you people are listening to today, I have to sit back. Which one is best for me? Am I going to, if I relocate to the village, for those who are thinking that way, what is going to be the advantage? Am I well known in the village? If I get back to the village today, what am I going to be doing? Do I have a land? Do I have a land where I can be used for my family? Do I have all these things? Do I have friends in the village? Because some of us, we can say we are from maybe, let me use we can say, okay, maybe we are from Ijorin abroad. Abroad means you just call yourself from Ijorin, but you don't go there. That's what sorry?
There's somebody from Ijorin here.
So sorry for using you as a sample. So the person that is from Ijorin, if you are Ijorin abroad, that means you don't have friends at home. Then you cannot relocate to the village. You cannot. So you have to plant yourself where you have friends, where you will not need to start navigating afresh, because that time of retirement is a time when you really need to find a new continue. There should be a level of continuity. And so eventually, when I consider all these scenarios, I discovered staying back in Abuja is the best. And that is where I'm here today. So, and you need to start considering relocation. That is in terms of considering relocation to hometown for post-retirement. So you have to be able to find out what can you do? If you relocate, what are you going to be doing there? But the advice is that you have to update pension record with PENCOM. Mbappe, the last speaker, has explained all you need to do in terms of that. You have to start side ventures or saving via cooperative NHA or mutual funds. You have to start preparing mentally for loss of structure, for loss of power, for loss of pegs. There are friends you have today. And I'm telling you all this from experience. There are some of the people you are very close to in the office today. After your retirement, after 1 month, they will still greet you, they will still call you. After 3 months, it will reduce. After about 6 months, they may start fading away. That is the reality of life. So you have to prepare yourself mentally for this. And so you have to also prepare the power you have today. You have to, if you are having two driver, you use driver for the office and so on. The reality has to set in that you are going to be driving yourself. Those things are going to drop. And those are the realities that you have to start thinking about, you have to start facing pre-retirement. Once you discover this, you can be able to settle easily even after the retirement. Now, the next stage is the honeymoon phase. That is immediately after the retirement. At that stage, there is no early morning work, no traffic, no deadline. There is nobody, no chairman will call you again that have you prepared this, have you done this. Even if you see the call of the chairman, let me tell you an example. When I was in the service, there are times when I will receive maybe some big or gas call. My heart will just jolt because I wouldn't know what they want to say. But immediately after the retirement, I was calling one of them. I called one of them and said, Madam, you know I'm retired now, and very soon you are going to go into retirement, so you need to be calling me senior. The woman laughed. She happened to be a very big oga in NNPC, but that was because the reality has come in. There is no more deadline that I'm being faced with. You can't call me to come and make any presentation, prepare this, prepare that. That has stopped. So, and the experience from others. Number one, some people we decide to travel to the village for Thanksgiving or celebrations. That is what some people will do. Some people will decide to host parties to mark retirement. People used to do that. That is during the honeymoon phase. People will also there be feeling of freedom from bureaucracy and daily official pressures. No more calling, no more having to wake up in the morning and resume back to the office by 8. That has stopped. Then there is no more receiving backlog for the entitlement like gratuity or housing fund. If it is not delayed, there is, you are already feeling big that you have actually retired. The advice here is that this stage feels very good, but it is always temporary. Talking to us from experience, you need to use the time to reflect and restructure your lifestyle. You need to use the time to resist the urge to waste lump sum gratuity on vanity. Vanity like traveling to the village for Thanksgiving or celebrations. Vanity like extended social obligations, because people will still feel no matter how much information you pass to people that you are already retired, that you are no more receiving salary. People don't believe such. They will still believe the same salary, the same way you are able to dish out money to them, the same way you can be able to spray money in the party, is the same way you should still be able to do. These are things that will be happening. These are things that are real. So we need to, for me, for example, I say I'll be giving myself as a sample. After retirement, people were, some colleagues were asking, when am I going to do my retirement party? And I look at it. So which money is going to be used for the retirement party? Is it my money? Is it my gratuity? Or is it the pension that I just received? What am I going to do? And I have to take an option. I took an option. The option I took was just to give testimony in my church. I just give testimony in my church for the goodness of God in my life, for saving me through the 30-something years of service, and I'm able to collect and I just thank God. And that was the end. Even though the office eventually celebrated, but that was not my money. So I'm advising us today, it is a wrong process. When you collect your gratuity, you go and throw party, whether you do it in the church, you now go and feed everybody, they will eat and go. But knowing fully well that that money you're supposed to use to start a small business is what you are using to feed people. And they will, after they go, they will tell you thank you, they will tell you congratulations, and you go back to your home. And you know what may eventually happen. Now, going straight to the disenchantment stage where the reality actually sets in. Now, number one thing that may be happening is there will be boredom, there will be loneliness, because some of the friends that have been calling before may not call, and there will be financial stress because one begin to feel forgotten by a colleague or society. Some of the friends that are very close to you in the office before, they will be very busy in their office now. So they keep forgetting. They call some of the people you called before and they pick your call immediately. When you call them, they will say, sorry, sir, I will call you back, sir. I'm sorry, sir. Or they will send you a message that, sorry, can you please send message that I'm in a meeting? So this will actually lead to boredom. And the experience from others is that, number one, during this stage, there could be regular or non-payment of monthly pensions. It's possible. There could be withdrawal symptom from loss of official identity, driver or staff. I know of a particular man in the organization where I work. After he was retired, he was already giving letter like on Wednesday, and people will expect him to pack his things from the office so that another person can come in. But Thursday he was there, Friday he was there. To everybody's surprise, Monday morning he was already sitting at the desk, and people had to tell him that, Oga, what are you sitting? Where are you parking? And he said, we park. He said, he just want to take his time. That means from time is supposed to get prepared. He was not prepared. And the essence of this type of lecture is for us to have this type of experience so that we will not fall into that. And that type of individual, that means is going to fall into serious boredom. There's going to be loneliness. There may be no financial stress, but there are going to be loneliness. There are going to be boredom. But this reality, we have to understand it. There are going to be, and there will be family expectation. The family expectation will remain high. People will still expect to be able to dish out money the way you have been doing. Even though the income has dropped, I listened to the last man that spoke that told us that you may be eligible to earn maybe about 50% of your current salary. But the society is not going to understand that. They will be putting pressure on you. So you have to have the reality in your mind now. When I retire, I'm going to maintain myself. I'm going to pay myself first. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm not going to allow the pressure of others to drive me in the way I do not want. There will be emotional emptiness, especially if I'm prepared spiritually or psychologically. That emptiness will be there. But the advice I will have for us is that this is the most vulnerable stage. People actually go into depression at this stage if they are not properly managed. If you are not aware of this thing that can happen, people go into vulnerable stage. You have to seek support group. You have to do community work or even church engagement. If you are a Christian, you have to consider mentoring youth or starting a hobby venture. E.g., people have given example of fish farming, tutoring, and so on. And for those who may want to give into fish farming, there are so many examples that can happen. Unfortunately, I will also give the chairman as an example. When I know he also have been practicing fish farming. Sorry, apology for mentioning this to the audience because people need to learn. Now, these are some of the things you need to do as an individual. Farming is allowed for everybody. Say within the law, the only thing you can do, the only type of business you can do that is by law is agriculture. Anything agriculture, you can do it along with your service. So somebody who is in service, who is doing fish farming, is doing the right thing. Somebody who is in service is doing farming, any type of farming, whether any crop of any type, is a good business. So even now, you can still start. You can still start that. So to avoid the situation when you get to the disenchantment stage, when things when the reality of retirement actually starts setting in, you can actually flow easily into what you intend to be doing. Then, of course, we go to the reorientation here. After the message, you have to now sit back and reorientate yourself. So by adjusting to the new reality, both mentally and practically, you begin to redefine your purpose. And the experience for others is that there will also be accepted that government service is truly over. That's when the reality will come in. Now you start reassessing your finances. You start reassessing your roles in family. You start reassessing your relevance in the society. You start engaging in part-time consulting, political appointment, or NGO work. You start returning to hometown to contribute to community development. Ladies and gentlemen, that is one of the things I do because I want to be giving practical examples. Immediately after my retirement, or even before my retirement, I've cultivated the habit of giving back to community, engaging myself in community development. It takes time. That actually took the whole of my time. Even when I got retired, at the initial stage, it took my time. So the disenchantment stage did not happen to me because I was busy with community work. I was busy organizing meetings, attending meeting online, following all what the community is doing, and so on. And this actually helped. So we can also make that contribution. We can also take that responsibility even now, even as we are moving into the even though we are still in the preparatory stage. And the advice again, as per this, is that you use this stage to take charge of your new routine. You build a life of purpose, a life of contribution, and a life of legacy. You embrace these digital skills or online income streams. One of the things that has happened to the world these days now is technology has taken over everything. I see people making a lot of money through TikTok, and it's real. For example, I wanted to buy some things about 2 weeks ago, and my daughter just told me that, why am I going to shop? Do I need it today? I said no. Do you need it tomorrow? I said no. I just discovered I need this thing because this one I'm using is almost. He said go online and buy it now. They bring it to you at home. I said And she collected my phone, opened the application, and blah, blah, and I paid. Third day, I got a call, and it was delivered to my house. That individual that delivered it, that means he has embraced digital life. So you have to embrace digital life. Things are actually going on online, which can be an advantage to us even after retirement. And the last stage is the stability. That is this stage, you will now have a renewed sense of peace, you have a renewed sense of fulfillment, and you have your rhythm developed. As I am today, I feel I'm in that stability stage because I've successfully transitioned from work to retirement life, and I'm enjoying what I'm doing. And the experience is that you are now running a successful farm, school, or consultancy. As I'm talking to you today, I'm a CEO of a company. We did not start from before I retired, because in the organization where I work, if it was discovered in my position then, if it was discovered I have a company, there could be problem. So I started everything after retirement. You can be becoming a respected elder or community leader. You can spend time with grandchildren, church or Rotary or Lions Club, as the case may be. You can also occasionally travel to visit children in diaspora for health checkup. So these are things that happen during the stability phase, which I do hope all of us, when we finally get to retirement level, we will get to this stage on time so that you can be able to jump the retirement stage and the other stages so fast, because the stability phase is actually the best stage. And the advice at this stage that you continue to invest in health, you continue to invest in family, you continue to invest in legacy project, you consider writing memo, you consider writing book, funding a school, or mentoring future civil servants. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I'm even doing now. I'm mentoring you. I'm talking to you, ladies and gentlemen, as a retired staff. I'm sharing my experience with you. This is a passion. And then you pay yourself well. Now, the question, I put a question in front of leaving inheritance behind for your family. I put a question mark there because everybody has different perspective. Some will say, okay, I want to work. I want to be able to work so that I can leave inheritance for my family, for my children after I might have gone. For me, as an individual, that is not my own plan. My own plan is that the children should be able, my prayer is not to leave inheritance, that my children will depend on my inheritance I will leave for them. No, my plan is that the children should be able to have their own, because many of the time, the inheritance you may be struggling with to leave your family. If you leave a house, you try during the retirement stage now, maybe when you collect your gratuity, you say you want to build house, you want to leave something for your children. That house you built, by the time you go, the children will not need it. I've seen so many examples. So many examples. Once you go, maximum, they may rent out the house, and the house may not be cared for the way you think they may be cared for. I think all of us can think back and look at what usually happens when the real owner of a house dies. You know what used to happen. So my own theory, which I'm going to say to us, is not, I'm not saying you should buy it, but that is my own idea. I want to pay myself. I want to enjoy my life. I've worked for 30-something years. I need to enjoy so that I can live longer. I need to pay myself, do things that will make me happy. If it is opening my gratuity money and be looking at how it grows, if it was going to gladden my heart, let it be. Let it be. So you have to make yourself happy. You have to pay yourself. You have to check your head. Spend your money on your head. Spend your money on what gladdens your mind at the stability stage. And that is what I plan to do. And that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm happy doing it. But others may feel that, okay, I want to be able to build a house and leave the house behind for my children. The children may eventually not need that property if God actually bless them. Now going to financial readiness. Financial readiness. Now you need to manage your inflows. Even at this stage, you need to manage your inflow. You understand that maximize income sources, especially when you finally get retired. You need to manage your inflows. You understand and maximize your income sources like pension, saving, and passive income. Passive income from maybe you receive from farm and so on. Then you control your outflow. You budget essentials. You think of what is necessary. What are those things that are essential for you to have? Those are the things that you need to concentrate on. You cut all non-essentials. You cut all non-essential, and establish an emergency fund. Now, what do I mean by emergency fund there? I have a priority. What I do, because I told us I will share a personal experience. What I do is that now I decided on my own that I want to have a minimum threshold of an amount in my account. I'm not going to mention an amount, but supposing I'm receiving 100,000 a month, for example, I want to be able to live to be sure that before the end of the month, I do not have less than 20,000 naira. That 20,000 naira is for emergency. In case something happens, am I going to go out to borrow? So you must be able to keep and establish an emergency fund, something you can fall back to. So if I have 20,000 naira in my account and another pension coming, so that means by the time another pension coming, I have 120, I will feel happy. I will keep spending, but I make sure that account do not go below 20,000 naira. It may be higher, but it must not go below. In that way, you can have something to fall back to. God forbid an emergency, you can be able to live and be able to make yourself happy. Then you protect health costs. How do you protect health costs? You explore HMO, you explore insurance. I was talking to my daughter, was it day before yesterday, that one of the things that we in Nigeria do not actually take cognizance of, which is happening abroad, is the insurance, is health insurance. People don't actually take to it in Nigeria. But in abroad, it happens. When somebody is sick abroad, He just walk into the clinic, whether he or she has money or not, it does not matter. He walk into the clinic and is treated. And that scheme is also available in Nigeria, but people don't know. If you go to an insurance company today, after the retirement, you say, okay, I want to insure my health. Probably they may say, okay, you have to pay 5,000 naira per month. That 5,000 naira per month may be big. It may also be lower than that. But once you pay that amount, once, God forbid, if you fall sick, that insurance company take care of the bill. I'm not saying this happen in abroad alone. It happened in Nigeria because the health service I'm enjoying today has that scheme. You come, you present your health insurance certificate, they confirm it is real, they get you treated, and the insurance company is charged with the bill, and you are free. So these are some of the ideas you may consider. It is not all hospitals that has it, but if you are living in Ado-Ekiti, I believe that will be some of the hospitals that has the facility, which you may also enjoy. Then you choose investment, or for low, medium risk option like Treasury bill. I think this one I've been spoken about earlier on. Then you so that you know whatever you are earning from this business is what you are spending. You are not actually spending beyond what you're supposed to spend. And of course, in starting a small business, you identify a business idea. And what do I mean by identify a business idea? The business idea you are going to identify are those things you enjoy. Giving myself as a sample, over the years, for more than 20 years, I've been doing research for NNPC. I've been doing economic research for NNPC before I went into sustainability. And that meant that I was always sitting with computer making research and teaching people. So at the stage of retirement, am I going into farming? The answer is no, because I've not been doing farming in the past. That was not my passion. Am I going to go into maybe some other trading? The answer happened to be no. What I've been enjoying, what I've been doing is using computer to do research, and that is what I enjoy doing. Therefore, I had to go into consulting. So for me to be able to identify the business idea, I think of what I've been enjoying doing before. I use example of footballers. Footballer enjoy, any average man you see as a footballer today, he enjoys playing football. But as he's playing the football, he's being paid. That means for that individual, whether he's being paid or not, is he going to play the football because he enjoys it? And that is what can actually make you to think of a business idea you can do. Then, of course, you conduct the market research. Who are the people that will depend on your product? Who are the people you have to sell to? You have to write the business plan, which I will talk about in the next slide. You choose a business structure, you obtain necessary licenses and permits. You settle the business finances, which I will also mention. Then you also consider the legal and regulatory consideration. What are those things you need to do? What are those things that make you to be qualified to be able to run a particular business? Is that business legal? If it is not legal, run away from it. It is legal. What are those things you need to do to ensure that you do it in the right way? And of course, you can now develop a simple business plan. I don't know whether this slide is very clear. Now, the bottom line here is that, sorry, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah. So you develop you have to develop a plan, because he who fails to plan will definitely plan to fail. You plan about the people, you describe the team and their role within the business, what the people will do for you. You talk about the location. You identify the physical resources and location that you are going to need. You also talk about the financial plan. You outline the financial strategy or projections. What you need to do, how much are you going to need? Are you going to start with your gratuity? For me, you cannot go into a business you don't know before with your gratuity. The answer is no. If you have, the worst case, if you have to start with your gratuity, then it has to be minimum amount you can commit into it. And by the time the business grows, you now start reinvesting your profit into the business to ensure it grows. But if you put all your gratuity in a business, if it fails, it can cause heart attack. I pray that will not be your own portion. No. Then you have to do the marketing and outreach. You describe the strategy to reach and engage customers. You also talk about the risk. The last speaker talked about risk, so I will not talk about that. Then you talk about the product and services. Who are the people that will need your product? Who are your customers? What is the assistance you are going to require? These are things that has to be at the back of your mind in terms of planning for the business. And of course, there are areas of opportunity for retirees. There are areas of opportunity. That the area of public sector friendly venturing. That is the time of consulting, supply, training, and so on. As I'm talking to you today as a consultant. So it's part of those areas that can be utilized. Many retirees in Ekiti, come from the public service. That they are civil servant, they are teacher, they are local government administrator, and so on. And so they can be able to go into public sector friendly businesses, that either can serve the government or the community in a way that complement public services. Example, as I'm giving on the board, is a consultancy, contracting, social enterprises that are aligned with government initiative in terms of consulting and training. Because for you in this room today, you have specialized knowledge from your career. Why not monetize it by consulting? For instance, a retired education officer could start an education consultancy or private tutor center to help school to improve or prepare students for exam. A retired nurse, for example, I don't know your field, but I'm giving an example. A retired nurse or doctor who run health seminars or small clinic. Government agency often hire consultant for short-term expertise or as an experienced hand. You can register as a consultant or join a consultative firm. In fact, it is always been encouraged that retirees should remain active through consultancy and volunteering. That is one of the things that people usually advise on. And of course, agriculture. You can go into agriculture. Because we know that agriculture contributes approximately about 24% of the GDP. So you can go into crop farming, you can go into cassava, you can go into plantain, you can go into vegetable, and I was mentioned the fish farming. For me personally, one of the things I would have gone for if I happen not to be consulting is rearing animals. I enjoy seeing animals. In my small house here in Abuja, if I go to Ekiti and somebody give me live fowl, daddy, just take this one, go and use it when you get to Abuja. For about 2 weeks, that fowl may be in my compound. I will enjoy running after it, then giving it corn, just feeding it until the fowl now started jumping after the fence, jumping over the fence. That is when I will now take it and say, this one may disappear one day. There was one after running, after some days, the cock disappeared because he saw another fowl and he ran away with it. But that is a passion. So, and that is one of the areas I'm saying we can identify our passion. I will have gone into that if I'm not doing consulting in Abuja. So you identify the passion is actually very important. So you can do poultry. You can also buy from farmers as an agricultural individual. You can buy from farmers, process it, like people process gari, for example. We have processed the cassava and turn it to gari for people to sell. And of course, you can reach customer on WhatsApp. That is talking about the digital age now. You can offer service online. You can do tutoring. You can do consulting via Zoom or Google. You can partner with people for tech. You can engage youth for social media, because the youth, when you cannot imagine what our youth know these days. They know so much. So you can tap into their knowledge and be able to build your career around such after retirement. Then what about the funding? What about the funding of your or whatever venture you decide to go into? Funding sources of is crucial for retirees who may have limited saving. And here are some personal saving. You can go from personal saving. That is, start with a manageable amount. For example, if you are planning to have a poultry farm with 500 beds, you can begin with just 50 to minimize potential losses. You can begin with minimum, because having to go into bigger one may include you spending your gratuity, and if that business fails, there'll be problem. So you can start small. Then you can consider also grant from government. You can link into program that are being moved by government. I learned that there's a program in Cross River State, for example, where grants are made available for initiative. And I know similar thing was being done in Ekiti, but I do not know the details. So I don't want to talk about what I do not know the detail. But I heard that the government of Ekiti has also introduced something like grant, which people can tap into for small businesses, which as retiree is also available to all of us. Then you talk about cooperative society, and personal network. You can join the cooperative for low interest loan or saving group, partner with peers to share cost and responsibilities, such as opening a tutoring center with fellow retirees. You can join hands together and form a group whereby you can be able to fund your new business. Then of course you can reinvest your profit. You can decide to reinvest a portion, maybe about 20 to 30% of your early profit to support business growth, instead of taking all for personal expenses. And that is the reason why you have to separate an account. If you have an account, one of the things that individuals do that make them to live better is that if you are earning 100,000, for example, in a business, you can pay yourself salary from that business, so that you'll be able to reinvest back some of it into the business, because there will be a time when those business you may not be able to run them again. You need the business to grow. By the time you are 60, 61, 62, 63, 65, you can still run around. But what happens when you are 80? What happens when you are 85? You will like to see that business flourishing, so that you can be able to be having stream of income coming to you, even when probably you have now the man for Ijoni has gone back to Ijoni to go and relax there. He can be able to use his card to withdraw money from his income that is coming from the business he has set up before. So life continues. Then you can keep cost low. That is what they call the bootstrapping. That is, you use existing resources. You work from home, you employ family initially, you leverage on free marketing channels like social media, so that you can be able to make use of what is available without you actually spending much. When I started the consulting, I was using my son. When I want to do something, okay, what can you actually put this slide together for me? Do you understand this Excel function? Come and teach me. So those are things that you can do in terms of bootstrapping, so that you can be able to make use of what is available to you. Now, many case studies. We know the story of Afe Babalola. Afe Babalola founded Abuad at the age of 80. That is a man with vision, a man with faith, and the faith follow with execution. Faith without work is dead. That's what the Bible says. Now, when you have the vision, you have to bring the vision to light. When you have the faith, you have to actually make a move and execute. And that's why I'm using Afe Babalola as an example. I was in his office, and I was amazed with somebody at the age of 90 being very proud of himself. Somebody who did not go to school. And it took time for me to appreciate that people can actually do things after retirement. If Afe Babalola can fund Abuad at 80 and you are not yet 60, then your life is just beginning. You are just starting. The best is yet to come. That is my theory. Then I read of Mrs. Ngozi, who happened to be a retired teacher, who went into catfish farm, and he learned from small pilot, and she eventually became very great. Also, there is also a story of one Alhaji Karim in Ado-Ekiti who started small poultry, and he came in with steady income, and things started moving well for him. And of course, the popular KFC, which is global, Colonel Sanders, he started KFC at the age of 65. So, and I believe there is nobody in the room today that is 65. That means the best is yet to come. And I quote here one of the comment from the Alhaji Karim from Ado-Ekiti. Now, he said, I retired 5 years ago, and I'm reading directly from the screen. He said, I retired 5 years ago, and frankly, I was afraid. And that is what is actually happening to everybody. But starting my small poultry farm has been the best decision. Yet, yes, I wake up early to feed chickens, but I also wake up with a sense of purpose. There must be sense of purpose. I learn so much, and even put some grandchildren through school with the profit. If I can do it at 63, you can do something too. Just start small and don't be ashamed to ask for help or advice. That is a retired person at the age of 63. None of us is 63 yet. So the best is yet to come. So what about health and wellness, the practical habit? I believe there will be people who may be able to, who are still likely to talk more about this. The head of service has also mentioned a lot about this in our speech. So I may not want to go too much into detail into this. But the bottom line, you have to do your daily movement, you eat balanced diet, you control what you eat, you sleep well and manage your stress, and then you, of course, check your BP, your sugar level, your eyes, your dentals, check them regularly. And then if you have health, if you can be able to link up to health insurance, it's also good, so that all the checking and so on will not be at a cost to you. Because that one of the things that used to take people away from not able to go for health is because of the cost. But if you are able to maybe separate some amount of your pension as a little token for health benefit, you can just walk into the clinic anytime and say you are demand for check, and you can be okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are at the stage of retirement. You have the freedom to pursue dreams you couldn't do before. You need to seize that opportunity. Every big success story often started small. Don't be discouraged by humble beginnings when you finally retire. Plan diligently. Often the best business ideas are those that fill a local gap. And by focusing on sectors of government interest, like agribusiness or education services, you might tap into support and a ready market. And so don't isolate yourself in this journey. Starting a business can be challenging, but with a village around you, you have a village, you have people around you, it becomes easier. That to start a business. Take care of your health, which enable you to work. The goal is a fulfilling life, not just the money. A fulfilling life, not just the money. I'm repeating this. The goal is a fulfilling life, not just the money, because there are things money can buy. And there are so many things that money cannot buy. Money cannot buy good sleep. Money cannot buy peace of mind. Money cannot buy, there are so many, and those things that money cannot buy, they are far, far more essential than what money can buy. In life, many of us approach what money can buy. We struggle with what money can buy. We struggle with, okay, my salary is too small. But you'll have forgotten that if you are earning 100,000 today, there are people who are earning 20,000 who are living happier than you. And if your salary is increased to 200,000, that does not mean you're happy. Your life will turn around. It will turn around within 3 months. After 3 months, you stabilize. Dangote, as of today, is still looking for more money. He's still looking for more money. That's why he went to borrow money and start a refinery. Why does he need that? He's still looking for more money. A multi-billionaire was asked, sometimes a multi-billionaire in dollar was asked, gentlemen, they were interviewing him. They say, what is it that can actually make you more happy? He said, well, he said nothing much. He said just a little more cash. A little more cash. Money is not a satisfactory end. It's not a statutory. So having a fulfilling life is not based on the amount of money you have in your account. Or when you look at the money, it's also gladding your mind at the moment, but it's not the end. But living a fulfilling life is very important. Keep a journal of your progress, celebrate small wins, and always give thanks for each step. A grateful heart keep you optimistic and resilient. Ladies and gentlemen, in my conclusion, retiring from a long and dedicated career is a significant milestone, and choosing to embark on an entrepreneurial journey is a commendable decision. With careful planning, continuous learning, and balanced approach, you can turn this new chapter into a period of remarkable growth and fulfillment. Retirement is a transition, not a termination. The best is yet to come. I wish you all the best in your endeavor and look forward to seeing you flourish. Thank you very much.
Wow. I want to give our people privilege to comment or to ask questions. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, I'm open to questions, comment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much for this insights. Mine is not a comment per se, but I'm not even craving the indulgence of Mr. Chairman now, but I want to suggest, Mr. Chairman, that maybe for those of us that are still not too close to this retirement, maybe you bring, I won't call him Engineer Nat now, I'll call him Uncle Nat, come and give all of us this, because, you know, when he was saying it, he was just flowing out like, okay, want to put on one t-shirt. So thank you so much, sir, for this insights. I've really gained a lot. Thank you so much. I don't know for that, for me, this is loaded.
Just a recommendation. Thank you so much, sir. This has been so insightful and impactful. We really enjoyed the lecture, and we that are getting closer to retirement, this will ginger us to plan better. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much for the comments. Thank you for the appreciation.
Any other comments, questions? Some people are ready to go to there. The man from it, honestly, he's actually retired. Any other comment? Any other comment? Okay, can any of us just say a word of appreciation for the
hello, Mr. Nat. I think I'm right.
Yes,
right.
Thank
you. Yes, we really appreciate your input here. Eye-opener, very deep. We appreciate you, and we believe we are going to make a very good use of this. You are very welcome, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
We can see your face now. Maybe we will stop sharing.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. God bless you all, and I wish you all well.
Thank you so much, sir. We're very grateful, sir.
Thank you.
You can stop sharing so that we can see your face.
Okay. Why did stop sharing button now?
Okay, I've stopped it. Okay, don't worry.
All right.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right.
Very, very grateful. Sir. God bless you. Bye. All right. What do we do? I will continue. No, the next speaker is not available. We just take a short break. You can go for lunch. Okay. You can go for lunch. When do we come back? Next speaker, let me just chat with him. He's in Nigeria Economic Summit Group. Let me see if he's available. I hope we'll make the best use of all these things. Those of us that are online, maybe we reassemble. I'm trying to get the next speaker, Mr. Jayola, supposed to come up. Hello, he's supposed to come up at 1:35. So maybe we'll just hang on and then see. I'm trying to start with him if he's ready. For those of us that are online, just hold on a bit. I want to confirm when the next speaker will come up online. It's in a meeting in Africa.